wa Yoruba nation. Ó dára, ó lẹ́wà, ilẹ̀ òmìnira. Kò síbikíbi tí a lè wà lórílẹ̀ ayé. Tí a lè gbàgbé Yoruba nation. Jọ̀wọ́ o, Olúwa, mú wa dé ibẹ̀. Tọmọtọmọ, tọkọtọkọ, tayátayá wa. Kí gbogbo ayé lè mọ̀ wípé ilẹ̀ tiwa ni. Àwa yóò dé Yoruba nation. Jọ̀wọ́ o, Olúwa, ràn wá ní ọwọ́ láti gba ara wa nínú ìnira. Kò sọ́gbọ̀n ọgbọ̀n tí Nàìjíríà fi lè tàn wá jẹ. Àwa yóò dé Yoruba nation. Ilẹ̀ wa Yoruba nation. Ó dára, ó lẹ́wà, ilẹ̀ òmìnira. Kò síbikíbi tí a lè wà lórílẹ̀ ayé. Tí a lè gbàgbé Yoruba nation. Jọ̀wọ́ o, Olúwa, mú wa dé ibẹ̀. Tọmọtọmọ, tọkọtọkọ, tayátayá wa. Kí gbogbo ayé lè mọ̀ wípé ilẹ̀ tiwa ni. Àwa yóò dé Yoruba nation. Jọ̀wọ́ o, Olúwa, ràn wá ní ọwọ́ láti gba ara wa nínú ìnira. Kò sọ́gbọ̀n tí Nàìjíríà fi lè tàn wá jẹ. Àwa yóò dé Yoruba nation. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ilẹ̀ òmìnira, èmi kò jẹ́ gbàgbé rẹ̀. Èmi yóò máa sọ nípa ògo rẹ̀. Mo fojú sọ́nà sí ilẹ̀ mi. Oh my land, Yoruba nation, I will always cherish you. I will always fight for your glory. I look forward to you, my land, Yoruba nation now. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, ilẹ̀ òmìnira, èmi kò jẹ́ ìgbàgbé rẹ̀. Èmi yóò máa sọ nípa ògo rẹ̀. Mo fojú sọ́nà sí ilẹ̀ mi. Oh my land, Yoruba nation, I will always cherish you. I will always fight for your glory. I look forward to you, my land.
Ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa, ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ jùmọ̀ kọ orin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Àwa ni ògo adúláwọ̀.
Fire.
àwa ni ògo adúláwọ̀ ọmọ Oòduà dìde bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin aráalé lọ́kùnrin àti lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé àti àgbà níbi yòówù tí ẹ ti lè máa wò mí ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. Tí kinní yẹn bá echo díẹ̀díẹ̀ ẹ má bínú sí mi. I will try and work on it as a matter of urgency to make sure it doesn't echo anymore. Mi ò fẹ́ tú kinní nísàlẹ̀ díẹ̀ púpọ̀ ni, ṣùgbọ́n bó ṣe echo yẹn ó dàbí pé mi ò fi gbogbo ara gba tiẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n lágbára Ọlọ́run ọba Elédùmarè, Ọlọ́run aláàánú, ó máa fún gbogbo wa ṣe. Ire ní gbogbo nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe lálẹ́ ló máa já sí. Ibi rere ni ọ̀rọ̀ wa máa jálẹ̀ sí ní agbára ọba Elédùà, nítorí pé òun náà ló lè bá wa ṣe, òun ló máa bá wa ṣe, ó dẹ̀ máa bá wa ṣe ní àṣeyanjú ní àṣẹ ti Elédùmarè. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń béèrè link lọ́wọ́ mi, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń béèrè yẹn, Ọlọ́run á máa gbà fún wa. Màá send ẹ̀ sí as a matter of urgency. Màá send ẹ̀ sí as a matter of urgency, ṣùgbọ́n ẹ máa fún mi ní àkókò díẹ̀ kí a fi yanjú gbogbo ẹ̀ ní àṣẹ ti Elédùmarè. Ọlọ́run máa gbà fún wa. Mo kí gbogbo yín pátápátá pé ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ ní àná, mo ní lénìí ẹni tó mọ nǹkan náà la máa fi sípò ẹni tó máa ṣe. Mo ní bàbá mi ní ìkàlẹ̀, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe pinnu pé lágbára Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè máa bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ nítorí pé wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá. Bí mo ṣe bá wọn sọ lọ́wọ́ kan ṣoṣo náà ni wọ́n gbà, nítorí pé àsọsílẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ló ń jẹ́ ọmọ mi gbẹ́ náà. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe ṣàlàyé fún yín sometimes in December, mo bá wọn sọ nípa àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń gbé. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àlàyé fún mi tínú mi dùn sí lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ lórí àwọn akitiyan tiwọn, tí mo dẹ̀ sọ pé nǹkan tó dáa ni. Gbogbo ọ̀nà tí a bá lè tọ̀ náà ni kẹ́ jẹ́ ká tọ̀, gbogbo ibi tẹ́ bá lè gbà náà ni kẹ́ jẹ́ ká gbà. Mo bẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀yin aráalé, ẹni tí Ọlọ́run bá yọ́nú sí, ẹni tí ó bá tẹ́ lọ́rùn láti bá mi pín ètò náà, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá mi pín tó bá ṣe é ṣe fún yín. Ẹ ṣàmọ̀ mi ní mú yín tipátipá, bọ̀ síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ tó bá yẹ pé Ọlọ́run yọ̀ǹda fún yín láti bá mi pín, ẹ bá mi pín kó kan ará ilé, kó kan ará oko, kí nǹkan ká fẹ́ ṣe yìí kó ba lè kárí, kó ba lè dùn, kó ba lè jẹ́ pé ibi tá à ń lọ ò ní jìnnà, ibi tá à ń yà ni ó pọ̀. Mo kí ọkùnrin, mo kí obìnrin, mo kí onílé, mo kí àlejò, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ tí ń wọlé, mo kí gbogbo yín pátápátá pé ẹ kú déédéé àsìkò yìí. Kí ẹ má fi ọ̀pá pọ̀lọ̀pọ̀lọ̀ péjò, ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi ojú bàbá mi hàn kí àwọn náà bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, kí wọ́n sọ orúkọ wọn, kí n tó wá sọ nǹkan rẹpẹtẹ tèmi gan mọ̀ nípa wọn, nítorí pé ẹ mọ̀ pé tá a bá ń ṣe nǹkan báyìí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbà náà ni a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ nǹkan nípa àwọn ẹni tí a fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọba aláwùrábí, ọba tó ní ọjọ́ gbogbo, tó jẹ́ kí gbogbo ìgbà máa dáa. Bàbá ẹ kú déédéé àsìkò yìí sà.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Ẹ ṣé sà. Kí ẹ tó dárúkọ yín, mo fẹ́ sọ díẹ̀ nípa àwọn nǹkan tèmi náà mọ̀ nípa yín tó jẹ́ bíi kàyéfì fún mi, nítorí ìgbà tí mo lọ wo gbogbo nǹkan tí ẹ ti ṣe, ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí ó dùn mọ́ mi nú, ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ ó bà mí lẹ́rù pé irú nǹkan báyìí wà ńlẹ̀ la lọ́ fọ́ kómi látijọ́ yìí, àbí bígbà tó yẹ pé à ń fọ́ kómi ni bàbá, nítorí pé Ọlọ́run àánú yóò kú gbà fún wa, kò ní dójú àdúrà tiwa nígbà kankan ní àṣẹ ti Elédùmarè. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀. Dr. Olushola òní, MBBS, MSS, MSc, LLM, MD, FRCS Education, FWACS, FMCS, FRCS Engineering, Consultant Orthopedic Surgeon and Expert Witness. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá mọ nǹkan tí expert witness jẹ́, expert witness jẹ́ tí nǹkan kan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ níbì kan, àwọn ni wọ́n máa pè pé ìwọ ló mọ̀ ń pẹ́ o, wá ṣàlàyé fún wa ṣé nǹkan tí wọ́n ń sọ fún wa nílé ẹjọ́ yìí tó tọ̀nà àbí kò tọ̀nà, ṣé ó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. What is your feel, what is your expert opinion nípa nǹkan dáadáa tó ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí tàbí nǹkan díẹ̀ kó kù díẹ̀ káàtó. As far back as 1979, Dr. Olushola knew exactly what he wanted to do in life. and set about completing the necessary academic training to achieve his goal. Ọ̀rọ̀ wọn dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ Catalia film ni. Ó ní pé I put you where you want to be. I don't think he's the one that knows what he wants to achieve in life. I think God has destined that at this time of our Yoruba life, we will need somebody who is an expert witness that can look at our case. You know when you know something, kò sígbà tí wọ́n bá mú yín lọ́rùn tipátipá pé báyìí lẹ ṣe máa ṣe báyìí lẹ ṣe máa ṣe, right? Kí ẹ tó mọ̀ pé báyìí lẹ ṣe máa ṣe, right? After his graduation at the University of Ibadan in Nigeria in 1979, following which he achieved his MD and MS qualification at the University of Leicester. Never want to rest on his laurel. Dr. Oni then went on to further his academic qualification by gaining an LLM degree at the University of Cardiff, together with a postgraduate certificate in healthcare management and a GDL degree from the Montfort University in Leicester. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ ká yìí ó gùn tó jẹ́ pé so bóyá mi ní kà mọ́. Dr. Olushola Oni is an author. He has written so many books that when you look at the amount of book he has written, you will be shocked pé báwo ni gbogbo ẹ ṣe rí tèmi ò wá mọ̀ wọ́n látijọ́ yìí, báwo la ṣe rìn, báwo la ṣe gbà ọ̀nà owó lágbà tí èmi ò mọ̀ wọ́n látijọ́ yìí. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ni ò tí ì kàwé wọn. Mi wá advertise ìwé wọn níbí báyìí, ṣùgbọ́n tí n bá sọ nípa ẹ̀, bàbá ńlá injustice ni mò ń ṣe fún ọmọ Yorùbá. Tí mi bá sọ nípa àwọn ìwé tí wọ́n ti kọ, I'm not doing Yoruba people, I'm not doing justice to our cause or to our I won't call him our son, but it's the son of the soil still, to the son of the soil's achievement. He has written so many books, and most of his books are available on Amazon. They're not just available through the back door. They are available on Amazon. They're not just available on Amazon, they're actually available on Kindles as well. So, the Yoruba medicine of antiquity, ruminations of the 21st century orthopedic surgeon. Ó dá mi lójú pé láàrin ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì sí wàdà mo máa lọ tọrọ lọ́wọ́ pé bàbá ẹ jẹ́ wá gbọ́dọ̀ yín fún bí oṣù kan àbóṣù méjì kí nǹkan tí ẹ̀kọ́ díẹ̀ kí n pápọ̀ mọ́ ti abárẹ́mẹ́dì tèmi náà ń ṣe bóyá á túbọ̀ gbòòrò sí. The law as practiced by the ancient Yoruba, a book to remind us of the world that we lost, that we have lost, that we're trying to get back. Who should run the health service realignment and reconstruction, and how to cope with university life in the world generally? Doctor, I can't wait to ask you, sir. Nǹkan kì í bẹ̀ ẹsẹ̀ ràgó ó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ ṣùgbọ́n síbẹ̀síbẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba aláwùrábí. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ti sọ yẹn ìtẹ́ bá fẹ́ yọ kúrò ńbẹ̀ ẹ láǹfààní láti yọ kúrò, ìtẹ́ bá fẹ́ fi kún ẹ introduce ara yín fún ara yín. Èmi mo ti introduce yín látàárọ̀ ẹ̀yin gangan ẹ wá sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ sì jẹ́ fún wa sà ká tó máa lọ.
That's fine. My name is Olushola Oni. Although I spell my name without an H, it's an S dot. Our Yoruba ní SH, S dot ní Yoruba. It's S dot, it's not SH. I graduated from UI, as you said, in 1973, and I came over to the UK in 1974, and I've lived here ever since. I became involved or interested in Yoruba self-determination when I saw what happened at NSAS tollgate massacre, Lekki tollgate massacre, on the 20th of October 2020. That's when I became interested in what was going on. Interest me in 1970, when I was a student at UI, the police came onto the UI campus when we were demonstrating and killed my friend, Kunle Adepeju. I've never ever forgotten that. And to then realize in 2020, Nigeria is still as backward as it was in 1970 was a shock. because you don't expect in a civilized country that young people cannot be on the streets marching without policemen opening fire and killing them. Why? Why would you deploy your policemen to go and kill young people just because they were demonstrating? And that's how I became involved in what is now the cause of self-determination for the Yoruba people. And one of the things I think that we Yoruba sometimes forget is that we are one of the oldest civilizations in the world. In fact, the Yorubas say that they were present at the dawn of humanity, at the beginning of time, when the world was just water. The whole world was just water. And Obatala came down with soil and spread it around, and that's how we have the world today. Now, believe it or not, that Yoruba myth of the creation has been supported by scientific evidence. So although the Yoruba, I don't suppose they knew how to use radioactive materials to investigate. They were able to, as far back as the beginning of time, this is how the world began. And I think some part of the problems that we have as Yoruba people, we really do not appreciate the importance of the Yoruba people to the world. We sometimes don't really understand or really underestimate it. So that's how I became involved in all of this. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, Daddy, you have answered the question to a great deal. I want to thank you very much, sir. Nítorí àwọn tó wà ní Benin Republic, wọ́n ní ká sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ Yorùbá, ṣùgbọ́n a ní lè sọ Yorùbá nìkan, a máa mú lùmálà náà ni, nítorí pé tí a bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀, ó máa jẹ́ pé nǹkan kò ní rọrùn fún àwọn kan tí wọ́n gbọ́ Yorùbá dáadáa nínú àwọn tí àjọ ń fa nǹkan tá à ń fà yìí, pàápàá jùlọ àwọn tí a fẹ́ kí wọ́n gbà wọ́n get involved. Daddy, ìgbésẹ̀ tẹ́ gbé sir, I want to compare it to the Windrush campaign. I hope you know about the Windrush, sir.
Oh, yes. Yes, I mean that's in the 1950s when the UK required a lot of workers and they didn't have it. They went to the West Indies to bring people from the colonies to London to help. Our situation is really slightly different in the sense that we were never part of any group or anything. The Yoruba nation, but if I explain to you, the Yoruba nation occupies the territory that is south of the River Niger, west of the River Niger, is bounded to the south by the Atlantic Ocean, and then it extends along the coast of West Africa all the way to 400 kilometers, all the way to Ghana. In fact, my own grandfather lived and died in Ghana. So the extent of the Yoruba Empire in those was one of the largest empires ever in the territory that it occupied. As I said, 400 kilometers from Badagry. That's how extensive the Yoruba Empire was. So our situation is slightly different. When we were put together with other people in what I call the Tower of Babel, we already had our own empire, we had our own civilization, we had our own law, we had our own medicine, we had our own system of government, which our system of government, I have not come across any system of government that is better. And I say this, and I always make sure that people realize that I am a Yoruba nationalist. I'm a Yoruba traditionalist. I'm also a Yoruba monarchist. That is, I believe in the institution of the government. So anybody who has read anything that I've written will know that I'm all three. I'm a nationalist, I'm a monarchist, and I'm a traditionalist.
ẹ
That
ṣe
is
sá
why I'm Baasegun Alabe.
mo sì máa débẹ̀ yẹn nítorí pé ojoojúmọ́ ni màá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara mi pé Baasegun nítorí pé ẹ jẹ́ dókítà ni àbí níbo ni Baasegun yẹn ti wá ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí àjọ ń fọ̀rọ̀ jomi ọ̀tọ̀rọ̀ earlier on mo rí i pé it is as a result of your profession that is why you get that title which actually fits you very well right daddy nípa
That's right.
ti Windrush tí mo sọ yẹn sometimes ago somebody approached me and said one of the people that work on the Windrush program that facilitates it, that makes it to happen. They approached me and said, we could take this case to the House of Lord, our Yoruba Nation case, to the House of Lord. And then when it's been discussed at the House of Lords, the House of Lords will send it to Parliament. The Parliament might throw it away and send it back to a House of Lords, but the House of Lords, when they have good interest in something, they keep sending it back to the Parliament until they get what they want. And the man said, it might be a good idea if you want to pursue that line, right? I think Dr. Roland is very good. I will call him your friend.
Yes.
Even though you are like a father to all of us, because that is what he told me. He said, no, he's not my friend, he's the big boss. Okay, but now, these steps you are taking, if we can take it with any step anybody is doing currently, and we run it concurrently, without stopping what that person is doing, without interfering with what that person is doing, but we keep doing what you want to do, they keep doing what they want to do, and how London, sir, London, Sherry, all the motorway, M1, M2, M3, M4, M5, they all come and converge on London from different points. So we're all going to Yoruba Nation. And we decide to take all these different routes, all these different motorways. And along the line, we're all going to get to London. So explain to us, sir, our steps the Fed take. And in that, your letter and the summary, you put it there, you don't need anybody's money initially, which is for the cost of the £5,000 that you're gonna put out to run these preliminary stage. You know whether it's gonna go to court.
Right.
We will do everything possible on the art, humanly possible in the spiritual realm as well, to make sure that what you're doing works for you and work for us. Right?
Okay.
But later on along the line, there are some steps that we need to take. Explain the steps, what you've done now, or start the story from the beginning. Let me let you do the story yourself so that I don't get involved. And some other things you're doing in the background, like some of the video you've done that I've actually watched.
Okay. All right. Okay. You gave an example of motorways going into London, but actually, our Yoruba already have something like that. Onokan Woja, that is, many roads lead to the market, and the reason why the Yorubas say that is because they believe that there are different solutions to a problem. It is not just one solution. And one of the problems I think that we that I've noticed over the couple of years or so that I've become involved in these matters is that some people think that there is only one solution to this problem. Now, let me start by explaining something that people don't realize the enormity of the problem. Nigeria has been independent for over 60 years, which means Nigeria has already acquired a lot of friends along the way. So no matter what we think, Nigeria has friends. And those are the people we are going to have to convince that the Yorubas should go on their own. So that's number one. So when people start talking about it's going to be easy, they only have to announce something or do whatever, it's because they don't understand the enormity of the problem. Now, people know Nigeria. If you go out on the streets of London and you ask anybody about Nigeria, they know Nigeria. You ask the Yorubas, they have no idea who we are. And one of the biggest problems we have is that we Yoruba people, especially those of us who are involved in this struggle, think that everybody knows who we are. Nobody knows who we are. So part of our duty or part of our job is to tell people out there who the Yorubas are. And that is the reason for the videos, the YouTube videos that I've been making. For other people who are not within us, within our group, to actually realize who the Yoruba are. And that we are much more than just fighting for self-determination. We've got a lot of things to offer the world. And I usually remind people that between 1954 and 1959, when Yoruba land was self-governing, we were ahead of Singapore. We were ahead of South Korea. In fact, they came to Ibadan to come and see what we were doing. So you can imagine if we had been on our own since 1959, what Yoruba land will have been like. I first went to Singapore in 1970 when I was a student. It was almost like a fishing village. I was back in Singapore for the third time about 5 years ago. The place was completely different. You couldn't believe the change between 1970 and when I went again 5 years ago. Not only have they developed really tremendous development, they've even claimed part of the sea to make Singapore a lot bigger than it was. These are the things that we could be doing. I mean, you don't forget, we had television, before a lot of European countries had television. We had television service in Yoruba land before a lot of countries in Europe.
Before France, sir. We had it before France.
Yeah. So you can imagine how far advanced we were between 54 and 59. Then we get independence and everything has just crashed. Everything has gone backwards. And it is very, very sad because our potential is limitless. I mean, as I was saying earlier about civilization and so on and so forth. I'm not saying this just because I'm Yoruba, but the Yoruba people are unique people. We just don't realize it. Now, we were the first people to transform from hunter-gatherers to become agriculturalists. The Yorubas, we were the first to leave hunter-gathering into settling down and becoming agriculturalists. We Yorubas have always lived in towns or cities. We have always been urban people. And our urbanization was based on farming, not on industrialization. We were all farmers, and yet we were able to build cities that were comparable to cities in Europe. So if we are able to achieve all these things, it is obvious that being in Nigeria has stifled us, has drawn us back, has destroyed what we have. And therefore, what all of us need to start thinking about is how to move forward. And I usually, when people talk to me about one Nigeria, how Nigeria is going to progress, and I say, tell me one thing that Nigeria can offer you as a Yoruba man that the Yoruba nation cannot offer you. Just anything. Tell me one single thing that Nigeria can offer you as a Yoruba man that Yoruba, as a country on its own, cannot offer you. There's nothing. Absolutely nothing. We are too good for the situation we're in. And people tell me, oh, well, if you have a fantastic leader, everything will be hunky-dory. And I say, Nigeria has existed for over 100 years. If you haven't found a miracle in 100 years, you will never find it. Now, when you talk about self-determination, a lot of people talk about the UN Charter. But actually, the most important charter for us is the African Charter, Article 20 of the African Charter, which is fairly explicit that self-determination is inalienable. It is something that you have that cannot be taken away from you. That's what the African Charter said. And that's what has been signed by all African heads of states, that that's the way they wish to go. We are entitled to have independence for our own territory, our own people. So it isn't just a matter of United Nations, sorry. No, African Charter said exactly the same thing. And that charter has been incorporated into the law of Nigeria since 1983. So the law of Nigeria itself allows for self-determination. And I give the example of the Arewa states, who decided unilaterally on their own, out of Nigeria's constitution, to have Sharia criminal law. That is self-determination. Nobody challenged them. The federal government didn't challenge them. So out of the 36 states of Nigeria, 12 states decided that they were going to have Sharia criminal law. Not only do they have that law, they also have their own police. In other words, if they can determine their own future, which is self-determination, why can't we as Yoruba people? Why can't we as Yoruba people? And that's what got me thinking, that how can we Yoruba people get self-determination? As I said earlier, Onokon Woja, there are different ways of doing it. Some people might think, oh, well, they will take up arms, they will go and fight. That's fine. I'm a pacifist. And I will tell you how I became a pacifist. When I was 19, I was one of those UI students who volunteered to go to Biafra to go and feed refugees. What I saw changed my attitude to war. And that attitude has never changed. That you ask yourself, what are you killing each other for? What are you fighting for? So from my point of view, I'm a pacifist. Okay, so what is the next thing that we can? So if somebody like me doesn't like violence, I don't want any war, what else is open to us? The next step is negotiations. That is, everybody comes together and they negotiate. It's not going to happen in Nigeria. It's never going to happen. Firstly, because those who have the advantage of power, they will never want to give it up easily. These people, they can steal our money. They use the money to go and develop Dubai. Without Nigeria's money, Dubai will not be what it is. Without Nigeria. So the money that we should use to develop ourselves, they carry it to Dubai. They come to London to come and see doctors and so on and so forth. Those people who are stealing Nigeria's money will never sit down to negotiate. And there's no, so many people have tried this idea of negotiation. I think it was Afenifere that talked about restructuring. There are people who have written to Buhari. Ninas was talking about the force majeure. So there has been opportunity to negotiate. But nobody is going to negotiate with you. The people who have power are never going to negotiate with you at all. So we then come to the thought, what else can we do to liberate ourselves from Nigeria? One of the first ideas that came about was challenging the election, the gubernatorial election in Osun and Ekiti states. And the basis was straightforward, that Nigeria's 1999 constitution is fraudulent. Therefore, you cannot hold an election under a fraudulent constitution. It's simple as that. And if Nigeria's constitution is fraudulent, then Nigeria as a state does not exist de jure. It may exist de facto, but not de jure. And if you are able to prove in court that the 1999 constitution was fraudulent, which it is, no matter what anybody might say, the constitution was a military decree of the 24th of May 1999. That's what it was, a military decree. It's never been ratified by anybody. We haven't had a referendum to say, do you agree with this constitution or not? No. Abdul Salami left office, gave us a constitution, and because the power has not been given to a group, the same group that have been there since 1960, they change, it's like a musical chair. They're not going to negotiate. So the question of negotiation is out of the way. So now we can't, I don't believe in violence, so that's out of it. We also have a situation where we have nobody to negotiate with. And therefore the question is, what remains? What else can we do? And a lot of people have done a lot of things like holding rallies and so on and so forth. But where I'm coming from is this, that if the fundamental law that created Nigeria in the first place was unlawful, therefore Nigeria in law does not exist. That's the basis of my letter to Rishi Sunak, the UK Prime Minister. That is, if you look at the law that set up Nigeria in the first place, that is the Order in Council, and I'll explain that in a minute, of 28th of November 1913. If that law, that legislation is faulty, is unlawful, then everything else about Nigeria is unlawful. That's it. Now, people are focused on the amalgamation itself. Amalgamation was just a proclamation. It wasn't a treaty, it wasn't anything. It was just a proclamation. It was just Lugard saying, this is what the law says in London, I'm applying it to Nigeria. That's it. That's what the amalgamation was. It's really a result of the legislation. Now, that legislation was not by Parliament. It wasn't the Parliament that decided they were going to amalgamate Nigeria. It was the Prime Minister of the day, plus a few people from the House of Lords, and the Queen. They decided, at a meeting amongst themselves, that they were going to amalgamate Nigeria. And the question that arises is that lawful? This is what is called orders in council, or the royal prerogative. In British law, the crown, the monarch, can make law. But that law that the monarch makes is not the same as the law that is made by Parliament. The law that the monarch makes is subject to the approval of the courts. And that is where my letter comes in, writing to the British Prime Minister to say, the law that set up Nigeria, the law that was passed at Buckingham Palace in 1913 was unlawful. And it was unlawful for a number of reasons. Number one, it was unfair to the Yoruba, because all that was done was that they took resources from Yoruba land to pay the North. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Our money, they took it from Yoruba land, they took it to the North to go and develop the North. That's not our job. That's the British want an empire. They want northern Nigeria. It is their job to pay for it. But they asked us Yoruba to pay for it. So the basis, the primary basis of amalgamation was to take resources from Yoruba land to take it to the North. And that is still happening till today, by the way. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that they didn't ask us, the Yoruba, at all. They did not, the British did not ask us, do you want to amalgamate with all these other people? They didn't ask us. And they didn't ask us because they knew the answer would be no. No matter what you think about our forefathers, if they had been asked, do you want to be in the same country as the Fulani or the Igbo, they will say no. They want to be on their own. So that's the second thing. They didn't ask us. The third thing is that they subordinate us, Yoruba, to other people. We free people, we are free people on our own. They subordinated us to other people. And the fourth point that I made in my letter is this, that the British Parliament in 1865 said that they should not have any more colonies. In fact, they said that they should evacuate. At that time, the British had 4 towns, or 4 cities, if you like, on the coast of West Africa where they had colonies. Those were the only places. And the Parliament, the British Parliament, said that they should withdraw from Lagos. And they ignored it. So the law or the legislation that came from Buckingham Palace was unlawful, was unreasonable, because nobody in their right thinking mind will have done what they did. That is the challenge. That is, what they did was irrational, unreasonable, and injurious to the Yoruba. That's what they did. And that is what I am suggesting we should challenge. That's the basis of my letter to the British Prime Minister, to say the law that was passed in Buckingham Palace in 1913, which led to the amalgamation of Nigeria, was unlawfully included the Yoruba in that amalgamation. Particularly as the British did not even have jurisdiction over the Yoruba land. I mean, the Queen in 1888 signed a treaty with Alabe of Oyo as a sovereign country. And they signed so many treaties with different Yoruba towns as well, as different independent. And you don't sign treaty with just anybody. You sign, a country signs treaty with another country. So you sign this treaty with us, and then you just ignored it. And in one of the things that Lugard said, exactly that he couldn't be bothered with the treaties. He just did whatever it liked. So that is the basis of the letter to Mr. Sunak, to say, look, we want to take that case to court. We want to take the decision, the legislation that was made in Buckingham Palace. We want to take it, challenge it in court, and let the judges decide whether it was lawful or unlawful. That is as simple as that. Now, people might say all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, the British judiciary is not the same as Nigerian judiciary. Don't let us deceive ourselves. And I say that as somebody who has sat as a judicial office holder, sitting beside judges, listening to cases. And I've also appeared as far in court as far as the Court of Appeal. So I know that if we are able to put a cogent argument before the judges, we can win. The biggest problem is getting the judges to take jurisdiction. That is, come back where they will hear the case. That's the most difficult part, is to convince them to actually take the case, because the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, they don't just take
Any case.
cases. No, no. We need to persuade them somehow to take the case. And I can tell you, if they take the case, the likelihood that we might win is very high. Somebody was arguing with me, oh, it's a long time ago, and so on and so forth. And I was reminding him that the Bakassi, I don't know if anybody knows the Bakassi case.
Peninsula. Yeah.
Yes. You know, the Bakassi Peninsula used to be part of Nigeria. And then Cameroon says, this is our land. And the decision was made on a treaty that was signed in 1883, I think. So the fact that something happened 100 years ago is irrelevant. British legislation does not, even if it is not used, does not die. The royal prerogative, that is, any legislation that is made at Buckingham Palace, doesn't die either. And I gave an example in the letter to Mr. Sunak. Burma Oil, in 1942, they destroyed their oil field. And they didn't get compensation until 1965. The royal prerogative that we are talking about, the law that they used in 1913 to institute amalgamation, that same law, the Foreign Jurisdiction Act 1890, was used by the Queen in 1995. So if anybody tells us that you cannot challenge the law that created Nigeria because it's a long time ago, or because Nigeria has independence, because this, that, they don't understand British law. What the judicial review is not about what happened after 1913. No, that's not what we are challenging. What we are challenging is the law that was made in Buckingham Palace, which then led to the amalgamation of Nigeria. I hope that I've explained that to those who really don't understand what this is all about. It is
Yes,
not about the amalgamation itself. Amalgamation is the result of a legislation that was passed in Buckingham Palace. What we are challenging, or what I'm writing to, or I wrote to Mr. Sunak about, is the decision, the legislation that was made in Buckingham Palace. I think it was in Windsor, actually, but anyway, it's in the Queen's residence, where the law was made. That's the one that we're challenging. The way the law works in the UK is this: if you are going to court, like we are going, you have to write a letter to the defendant first. So you write to the defendant, you say, I want to take you to court. I want your views, really, basically. So they can then agree to negotiate with you or whatever, or they say, okay, go to court. And if you read the letter that I wrote carefully, at the end of it, I made an alternative to the British Prime Minister. I said, if you set up a select committee of the House, if you set up a select committee of the House to look into what we are talking about, we will be happy to participate. All we are interested in is that somebody examines the law that set up the amalgamation. That's all we are interested in. We're not interested in anything else. We want somebody to look at the law, the legislation that was passed by the Crown in 1913, which led to the amalgamation of Nigeria on the 1st of January 1914. Without that primary legislation in the Queen's residence, without that primary legislation, Nigeria will not exist. And that's the point. Because if we win the amalgam, this case that we're talking about now, if we went to court and we won, then the legal basis of Nigeria does not exist anymore. In fact, the name Nigeria cannot be used anymore, because it is that legislation of 1913 that created the name Nigeria, that made the name Nigeria legal. So if you took out, if the law that made Nigeria is unlawful, then the name Nigeria doesn't even exist. So you can see, this is what we are trying to do here, is something that is fundamental. It is really fundamental, and we shall see how it develops. If anybody thinks that the royal prerogative cannot be challenged, then they haven't been following British law at all. It was used when Parliament was prorogued. I don't know if people understand what that is. And it was used for Brexit as well. So the law that is made in the monarch's palace is different from the law that is made in Parliament. The law that is made in Parliament, you cannot challenge it. But the law that is made in the crown, in the palaces, can be challenged. And that's what we are trying to do here.
Okay.
Now,
thank you very much, sir, for the full and unbiased explanation. It is ó ń ṣí ọpọlọ wá sí láti mọ bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ. Àwa náà dẹ̀ ń fi ojú inú tó. Lórí bí ẹ ṣe wá sọ yẹn, bá ṣe sọ yẹn, what about lobbying? Do we need to start lobbying? Do we need to put lobbying into this? Or what do you think, Daddy?
Of course, we have to lobby, and that's part of the things that we are doing. Actually, we have already employed a lobbyist, and hopefully, in the next, I was asked to write a briefing paper for one of the baronesses, which I have done, in which I made the case for Yoruba self-determination based on Article 20 of the African Charter, not on the United Nations, no, on the African Charter itself, to say we as Yoruba people were entitled to self-determination. And I made the point that we don't hate anyone. We are not interested in fighting anybody. This is not about a quarrel with anybody at all. Self-determination is our right. We own it. And it is up to us to exercise it. So the idea of the lobby is that, remember what I said earlier, that nobody actually knows who we are. I mean, it is one of the things that surprises me always is this. There are 120,000 Yoruba people in London, the same number as Jews. The Jews have political clout that you wouldn't believe. Let me give you an example, something that has recently happened. A member, an MP, said something about calling Netanyahu as so fascists. She had to go to Parliament to apologize. These same people will abuse you as Nigerian or whatever. They go, they badmouth you. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Because we have no political clout in the UK. 2 million Jews were killed in the Holocaust. Imagine how many Yoruba were killed on the transatlantic journey from Yoruba land to America. How many of us did they kill, perished? How much destruction they did in Yoruba land to remove all our young people, our productive people. They took them away from us. And yet, so many of us in London, we have no clout. We have absolutely nothing. Nothing. 120,000 of us. And we are nothing. And part of our problem is this desire what I call the disease of integration. That is, you believe that unless you integrate, you can't do anything. No, what you want to do is to contribute to the society. You don't have to integrate, you contribute.
True.
Yes. The Jews contribute, yes. But they have so much political clout. And what happens? All our members of parliament, I mean, can you imagine the president of Nigeria comes to Harley Street to come and see doctor where I practice? Comes to Harley Street. Shebi Nigeria ni mi. There are many of us, even my own daughter practices there. Shebi Nigeria ni wa. Okuro láti Nigeria. You are the president of a country. Ẹ wá sí London láti wá máa to come and see what? What is it that they can offer you in London that could not be offered in Nigeria? When I was at UCH, the research that was being done in UCH was world class. We were the first, Oshokoya was one of the first people to really make immunology a discipline. When Oshokoya, when I used to, mess about in his lab, I mean, to tell you how Ibadan was, I was doing research and writing papers as a medical student. That's how good Ibadan was. Can you imagine? I was doing research, challenging people like Professor Ungu. We were in the same lab, doing the same work, and none of them felt threatened. Professor Ogunlesi that has just died, he helped me to set up the first conference of medical students, African medical students, ní Igbóọrà láti ṣe, Igbóọrà. That's how Ibadan was. Aminu Kano, who was commissioner for health, came. He was the one who gave Bobo automatic translation, new boss to Mama based conference people, and so was provide. Aminu Kano had never met him. We were doing the conference on our own when he called to say, how can you be doing such a big conference in Nigeria without me knowing about it? That's how he got involved. That's how big Ibadan was. I was talking to president of SIDA, president of Ford Foundation, president of Rockefeller Foundation. I was a medical student. That's what Ibadan was like. The president of Nigeria comes here to come and see a doctor. For God's sake. The president of Nigeria, when I came here, all that got you a job without anything was that you are a graduate of Ibadan University. You came from UCH. That was it. Because everybody believed in this country, they believed the quality of our education. When I came here, yes, when I came here in 74, you just said, I'm a graduate of Ibadan. They believe that, no, this is a quality doctor. What can shake baja yati. It's really very painful to see how Nigeria has degenerated. Yoruba land really has degenerated. To think of what we were. I used to tell people, University of Ife in those days was as if somebody had an aerial view. When they designed, it's very painful to just be talking about this sort of thing. That's why we need to live. We need to have our own country. We really need to have our own country. And I'm absolutely certain that within 5 years of having Yoruba nation, the world will know that something has happened. That's how good we are as Yoruba people. wọ́n kàn bà gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀ jábá yàtìyàtì. You take our money, you go and develop Dubai. I mean, how can you say you have common sense, that you have a brain, that you take money from your own house, you go and give it to somebody to build their own house? These are the sort of people that my mother calls Okponu.
Real Okponu, sir.
You take money from your own country. You don't develop your own country. You go and develop somebody. Dubai is a fantastic place. Of course, it's fantastic because it's your bloody money that they're spending. These are the things that really need to motivate all of us to try and find a way of getting out of Nigeria. You know, the place is, when I hear young people talking about one Nigeria, I feel so sorry for them, really. Feel so sorry. You know, because you have a potential and you really don't appreciate. Singapore was part of Malaysia. As soon as they broke away from Malaysia, everything changed. Just look at Singapore today. When they came out of Malaysia, when they were no longer part of Malaysia, they became a rich country. The potential that we Yoruba, the potential that we as Yoruba people have is limitless. This is why one is trying to pursue whatever avenue is possible. Whatever avenue is possible, whatever avenue is legal. One, to make people know who we Yoruba are. That's the first thing. We must make sure that people know who we are. And then we take it further to take our independence. We did not give away our independence in the first place. We didn't give away our sovereignty in the first place. And we want it back. It's as simple as that. If the British can take themselves out of Europe, why can't we get out of Nigeria? These are the sort of things that we need. Our Yoruba, we say we are clever, we are intelligent. We talk so much rubbish all the time. We seem to lack the ability to think. All we are interested in is a quick fit. Somebody comes along and says, if you do whatever, do this, that's it. Independence will be there tomorrow. Who's going to give you independence? And it isn't always. Yeah, but it isn't always that you have violence is not the only means of getting independence.
No, it's not by violent means alone, sir. Yes, that's some of the things I want to challenge you on, sir. Currently, Atiku lives in Dubai and only comes to Nigeria every 4 years to contest election or when there's a function going on in Nigeria. There are some few steps that we highlight when we meet these Baba that we want to go to a House of Lords, right? And we need to set up a Yoruba MPs and councillors organization so that we can push what we need to push. We need to have conferences from time to time in House of Parliament to highlight our cause. We need to go to Chatham House, like all these people going to Chatham House, to make sure the world press are talking about what you are talking about today. Because one of the problems we have is that what we are talking about today, not many people knows about it. In contrast, sir, so many of us knows the contrast of what we're discussing today. And the information out there, I'm buying your information because of your CV, I've gone through your CV, and I will play the indulgence of going through it again, right? Dr. Olushola Oni has MBBS, MSc, LLM.
Don't worry about my qualification.
We don't have to worry, but so far,
That's
sir,
not.
we're being ruled by the worst of us is ruling us, sir. Is directing the affairs of this agitation.
Edruna. What is important is what comes out of my mouth. It's not the academic qualifications that I have. Although what
True,
that has done, it has broadened my horizon. It has given me different perspectives, so I could see different pictures. But in fact, what I like to concentrate on is that people understand, number one, the nature of the problem that we have, and number two, how we can solve that problem. And that comes from the fact that, I mean, as a surgeon, that's how I practice medicine. Is first, this is the problem. We all know what the problem is, and this is the solution that I prefer. And I think for us it is very important that we now start to think about solutions. Really seriously, solutions. Those of us who have the opportunity to influence things, we need to start thinking about solutions. I mean, for example, a judicial review of the 1913 legislation is of public interest. It's not just for me, and it's not just for Yoruba either, because if the legislation that set up amalgamation is unlawful, it affects everybody. So in fact, in theory, any Nigerian who is interested in self-determination can actually take part in it. It doesn't have to be just us Yoruba alone. And I mean, I personally think that this is one route that we can really pursue, at least to some conclusion. We need to pursue this. I mean, there's also the law that I mean, there's so many of these. When you start doing research into these things, you find that a lot of the laws that were set up for Nigeria were actually not acts of parliament. They were not. They weren't decided by parliament. They were decisions that were made in the palace, in the Queen's palace.
Backdoor laws, sir. Backdoor laws.
Yes, yes. Whether you look at 1890 formation of the Southern Protectorate, it's the same. They went into the palace. The prime minister and a few others, they decided that this is what they are going to do, and they did it. And the time has come that we need to start challenging this sort of thing. That I mean, as I said, I mean, we as Yoruba people, we have an international passport. There is no other race on this planet that has suffered as we have done. There's no other race. There is no other race on this planet that has suffered as we have done. No other race. 10 million of us, they carried from our homes. They carried us to America. 1/3 of us died on the way. 1/3 of us died on. And if they didn't have enough food on the ship, they threw the people overboard. And when the case came to court in London for in one, they threw 155 people overboard because there was not enough food. The Attorney General of this country said that we were not humans. The shippers were paid compensation for throwing us overboard. These are the things that we never ever talk about. I mean, the Yorubas were involved in slave trade. Mbonati involved in slave trade. That's stupid. You know, because the Europeans tell you this history, you just accept it without thinking. Without actually asking yourself, how could a Yoruba chief, whoever he is, be a slave trader? Mbolo ti rí slave, kí ló ti fẹ́ ṣe? If we had slaves, Basilica ta fi kọ́dà, Cathedral ta fi slave kọ́dà. If you sold slave and they gave you money for the slaves, where is the evidence? Kí lẹ fi kọ́?
Where's the palace?
Where are the roads? Where are the palaces? Stupid people. How come I talk rubbish? You know, our people talk, some of our people who are supposed to be educated, they talk without thinking. When somebody tells you something, you ask yourself, is what I'm being told plausible? That's what I call the plausibility test. Is it plausible? The Yoruba Empire was built like Oyo had an army, they were conquering this, that, and the other. If they had an army, but not the army. Where? Who was paying them? What salary? With what? The Yorubas did not have money. So how did you pay the slaves? How did you pay the soldiers? These are things. Where are the barracks? Where is the industry that was making arms for you to be able to fight each other? Say, you say cutlass, Lefinja, cutlass and the clubs. Lefin capture slaves. He was told about with your cutlass. We take things without thinking. When you are told a story about Yoruba people, you need to ask yourself whether that story is plausible. That's the first thing. Is it plausible? Is it plausible? The Yoruba Empire was so large, was one of the largest empires ever on this planet. Was so large that if it was based on military conquest, you would see the evidence of the military. You could see evidence from anywhere. You know, so our people who are supposed to be intellectuals, they simply talk without thinking. And it is this lack of thought that does not allow us to see what the potential solutions are. Because unless you think and you analyze what you are told, and you find whether this is Eurocentric and untrue, whether this is Yoruba and true, until you can make that distinction, you cannot understand how we get about becoming a free people. If you just accept everything that they tell you, everything the Europeans, because we Yorubas didn't have the art of writing. So these people wrote a lot of stuff for us. When you challenge people, they say, oral history, yeah. Do you know what Reverend Bowen said about oral history? He said, when you told a Yoruba man a story, when he retells that story, he will have embellished it so much that you who told him the story will not know that that's the story you told him before. Oral historian. And worst of all the oral, most, if not all of the oral historians were men. What do men know about anything? If you want to really know the history of a family, you go to the woman. You go to men, they just talk, oral history. If you think about what you are told and it is not plausible, you then look for explanations. It is that brings you the solution to the problems. It's such that we have to start fighting for ourselves. We all, Bank of England knew all those big buildings. So on slavery, Suela àbí kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ Breverman a máa sọ fún wa pé we don't have a right to come and live in the UK. We built the bloody place. Telling us we have no right to come and live somewhere. She is a daughter of immigrants. So, meanwhile, this woman that is the Home Secretary that is telling us that we have no right to come and live here, she is the daughter of immigrants. I mean, the way they treat us, really, it's so painful. It's so painful the way they treat us. And people, you think that people should have enough common sense, enough brain to be able to say, wait a minute, this is not right. 120,000 of us in London, and we have no political clout. 120, that's what? 2 parliamentary seats in here. 2 parliamentary seats in here. Ṣé láti ìgbà tá a ti ń wá sí ìlú yìí, if things are so bad, àwa náà ó yẹ ká ti ní political party tiwa. Ṣebí UKIP ní tiẹ̀. Ó yẹ káwa náà ti ní political party wa in this country, which will then be able to fight for us. Those are the sort of things we need to start thinking about. That people need to know who the Yoruba are, who we are.
Can I dabble into question with you, sir?
Please.
Can we say we might probably be the architect of our own problem? Is it fair to say that?
Partly, yes. The biggest problem that we have, which was the problem that the Windrush generation had as well, is the desire to integrate. That's the problem. Because in your desire to integrate, what you are doing in effect is that instead of who you are, you now want to be an Englishman. That's the problem. And a lot of us, originally people like me who came here, although, I mean, people like some of us didn't go back home. But people, we came here originally for education. We didn't come here as economic migrants. We came here to study, to go back. I mean, it's because Nigeria was unwelcoming. That's why most of us stayed behind. And I'm looking forward to when Yoruba land is free, so I can go back home, sit down, eat pounded jam in the evening with okete and wash it down with palm wine. That's all I'm interested in now.
That's a good one, sir. Okay. Going forward, sir. Going forward.
Okay.
We know we've been wrong. We know we've been spoon-fed with some few information that are not correct. We know so many things was not right. I hope you can hear me right, yeah?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay. We know so many things has been wrong. We know this and that are not right with what has been going on with us. Where do we start from? Yes, we've done the letter. We're waiting for the result of the letter. How long are we going to wait for this letter for? And in the meantime, maybe some of us who are journalists, like my brother is here, Olayomi Koiki of Koiki Media, maybe we need to go to Downing Street and probably ask the Prime Minister when he's going out one day, have you received the letter about Yoruba Nation people? Maybe these are some of the things we need to start engaging in now.
Exactly.
Maybe we need to start organizing conferences in the House of Parliament. Maybe we need to start putting our case into the regular media, because at the moment they're not carrying our case. And until we go to places like, I believe going to Chatham House, I've been saying this for some time. Some people say, you don't go to the slave master to go and free yourself as a slave, right? But sometimes there are facilities here that will help us, i.e. Chatham House will broadcast what we have to say, especially if somebody like you are in the panel of the people speaking at Chatham House. If somebody like you, and we speak truth to the authority. If we can get Dr. Professor Lumba as well to come and join in this and speak in Chatham House on our behalf. I said to a lot of people, I am not a leader, even though people have corrected me so many times, but I'm a strategist. I look for strategies, the next strategies that will make things work for us, right? Conferences at House of Parliament is very cheap to organize. But when we organize it, will our people turn up? Because this is very...
Okay. It doesn't actually, at the end of the day, I mean, I think it will still be right to organize such a conference. It doesn't matter if people, you see, you can't just say you depend on Akifi Agwala Agoshishe. That's what the Yorubas say. You can't simply say, oh well, they may not turn up. If they don't turn up, they don't turn up. If they don't turn up the first time and they see that it's successful, they will turn up the second time. I mean, that's
very, very true, sir.
that's just. I mean, it would be nice if such a thing could be organized. In fact, I mean, we at Ilana UK, for example, were thinking of doing that sort of thing. That's why I joined the British Library, because if you had a conference at the British Library, for example, they would publicize it and so on and so forth. So that's one thinking that one thing that we were thinking about, and which made me actually join the British Library as a member, because then it's easy to get a place there. Chatham House is not as easy to get a space as you think. And it is surprising, actually, that a lot of Nigerian politicians have access. I think they must know somebody in the Chatham House, which allows that. So if anybody knows anybody at Chatham House, that's the easiest way of getting access. Rather than when you write an application to come in, it's not easy, because I've tried it. But if you know somebody who is a member, then it's easy.
Being a member is only £250 a year to be a member of Chatham House.
I might consider that, actually. I mean, the British Library costs £80 a year. Well, I hope it. I hope that's what it is, because
it is £250 annual subscription.
Because I signed what do you call it? I signed for them to take money from my account. I hope it's only for the year, not for every month.
Even if it's for the month.
Yeah.
£250 for a month.
Yes.
It's not a bad investment. If
Yes.
it's going to work, I can raise £250 for you every month to go and sit down in Chatham House, to be a member of Chatham House. If that is going to make our life easy, sir.
Yes. I mean, these are the sort of things that we were discussing in Ilana UK months ago, because we felt that one of the best ways of getting Yoruba self-determination was to convince people here. Because at the end of the day, if people here don't know what about the Yoruba, it becomes difficult. People can't help you unless they know who you are. Take Yugoslavia, for example. When Germany recognized Croatia, that was the beginning of the end of Yugoslavia. That's all. Germany recognized Croatia, and then there was a domino effect. Once that's the thing about Western countries. Once one of them has done something, the others just sort of follow. I mean, they pretend that they are doing it independently, but that's actually what happens. Is that once one of the so if, for example, Britain were to recognize the Yoruba self-determination struggle, not saying, oh well, independent, just to recognize that there is a fight for self-determination, the domino effect will be interesting. It will be very interesting. So all we need to do as I keep saying, is that we need to let people know who we are. And your suggestion about having debates or this thing. I mean, we even looked at the Oxford Union having a debate on this. So I mean, we did look at a few things, but I mean, I suppose we can look at them again. And if there are people out there who have access to all these things, please let me know, and then we'll pursue it. As I said, we talked about Chatham House. We talked about British
Oxford Union.
Yeah, we talked about the Oxford Union. That is, in fact, I sent them an email, but nothing came out of it. Really, to really bring this question of self-determination to the fore. And I will implore everybody, don't just talk about self-determination as a UN charter, but as an AU charter. That is actually much more important, that the Africans themselves appreciate that you can have self-determination. That is absolutely vital, that we make the world know that Africans themselves believe in self. And the and the thing is that the African Charter, there's a precedent that actually you can take it to court. This was I can't remember his name, whether it's Kubi or Kobe, a Katangese. I don't know if you know Katanga and Zaire. He took Zaire to court about having self-determination for the Katangese, and although he lost, that is a very, very important precedent. Again, these are the sort of things that we need to know, that it is possible for us to take Nigeria to court in the African Commission to say we want our independence. These are the sort of things that we need to pursue. But I hope people are out there are listening, and people who are members of Chatham House, if you have anything to do with the Oxford Union and so on and so forth, and you are Yoruba, even if you are not Yoruba, if you have access to all these things, I will be very happy to help to write to people, to get people to come and participate. There's no problem at all for me.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. We really enjoy our conversation with you today. It's not going to be the last because we're still going to drag you here again, especially when we have people like Baba Ajala and even Dr. Roland himself might want to come on one day and actually grill you, Dr. and some few other people, Dr. Posi, Dr. Olu of people, I can't remember his group again. Father's house, Father's land. We want to bring all these people in to actually speak to you. I will speak to you later on about linking you up with somebody from Oxford Union who can actually facilitate that. I will speak to you about how we can try and facilitate something in the Houses of Parliament, even though if you have to camouflage it and color it and clamor it with something else as the name of the event. Right? Because Koiki is telling me that they probably won't want to do anything when it has to do with Yoruba nation, right? We might call it the power of the Yoruba people in the United Kingdom. We might call it a name that will be so sweet. And when we get there, we will say what we have to say. And then next time we want to go there, if they want to refuse us on that level, we know where to go to. And Olamikoki, the meeting in King's Cross, is something that we need to probably see how we can be going to that monthly NUJ meeting from time to time so that we can actually lobby there as well. We can lobby at the NUJ. It's a shame. I've only been there once. They even tell me if I don't have time, I can form a small one in Beckenham. But it's just so I've spoken with so many British journalists. None would like to talk to us. Trust me. Yeah. Koiki said he has done that.
I actually once tried to join the NUJ, but because although I'm not a journalist, I'm on the editorial board of some journals, some scientific journals. I'm on the editorial board.
Okay, don't worry
And
about that. We'll facilitate that within the next 1 week, sir.
okay, and I was going to use that to join the NUJ,
AJ will
which
facilitate
would
that for you within the next 1 week. Actually, today,
that's
tomorrow, we will, within the next few days, by Monday, Tuesday, you will become a member. The subscription fee is £15 a month, which is not much.
oh, that's not a problem.
Which is not a problem. So, and then we take it from there. But I can guarantee you, by this time next week, you're going to be a member of NUJ, which will give you, if you get a membership card, it will give you access to 10 Downing Street, not outside the gate, but inside the gate.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
And that will go a long way. And I said to so many people earlier on that Yoruba Nation T-shirt is, I call it woman billboard. But
yes,
like I said, there are so many of us that were enemy of progress on this journey. Instead of going with it, they will say, he's selling T-shirt. Am I not buying the T-shirt to sell it? Am I not printing on it? But they were just clamoring to say, he's commercializing Yoruba Nation, he's selling T-shirt. But what kind of T-shirt am I selling? Quality T-shirt, not just Jaga Jaga T-shirt.
well, I mean, they buy Manchester United T-shirts, they buy Leicester City T-shirts. So what's the big deal?
And they wear it. They even buy T-shirt that they
those
write
are the
America.
people I call people like that Allah Nikanshi.
Okay, we need to get these things back on track. Between me and you, I can categorically say that we were completely off track to a certain level, apart from some few people who we see to be doing something and giving us a lot of hope. Apart from that, the main body of this struggle is actually being derailed. We're just living on the past glory, and we have some few names that we so much believe in that is giving us hope, like my boss. Is giving me so much hope that whenever he stands up, things might wake up again. I want to thank you very, very much for this very short notice that I gave you. I am willing to work with you on a critical level. I don't want to be
I look forward to it.
The leader, but I want to be, we would like to organize a conference with all the Yoruba MPs and councillors and mayors within the next few months. And on this note, I would like to invite you to one of the ex-mayors' birthday party. I think that is in March, where we can meet these mayors and councillors. They will all be there. You understand?
No problem.
And some members of parliament will be there as well, right? So we can try and use that route and come in. There are so many people who are so important, but one of the things they don't like is the way we're carrying the Yoruba Nation struggle. They said we abuse, we talk down, and we fight, we say some naughty things. Imagine Yoruba Nation's agitator calling somebody's private part on a show of Yoruba Nation. It's so disgusting. But we thank God. Daddy, I want to thank you. Your last word on this before we go tonight. But before you say your last word, sir, I want to assure all my people that the telephone number of all the Yoruba MPs and councillors and mayors, I have them. They've given it to me, the Baba. And then maybe, when are you in London again, sir? Or maybe we can discuss that so that we can go and meet this Baba directly. When you are in London, let me know. Yeah, privately.
Okay.
And then we can do that. Right. Your last word, sir, before we
go. What I will say is this, that to get the Yoruba Nation is possible. Anybody who tells you that it is an impossibility is ironic. The Yoruba Nation is possible, but we have to do the work. It's not going to fall on our lap. Now, as I said, I am not, I'm a pacifist, and therefore I'm not interested in violence, in fighting, or whatever. I'm not interested in destroying my own homeland. So my own view is that we can achieve our aim through the courts. And the thing about the courts, for example, the case that we've put forward for judicial review is that it is neat, it is straightforward. Both sides will come, they argue their case, and whoever wins, wins. And one thing that a court case like this will do, even if you don't win, is that it will bring it out into the open. It will let people know what you are trying to do. Right now, nobody but a group of us know what we are doing. When people talk about Yoruba nation, it's all within a small group of people. It's all within a small group of people. We need to get out to let people know. As I keep saying, there are 120,000 of us in London. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. We need to find a way of giving them political clout. And I'm looking forward to working with you. I'm looking forward to becoming a member of the NUJ, which will allow me to write almost anything I like in any of the newspapers, which will be fun. As you know, on Twitter, I write a lot on Twitter. I think in the 2 years that I've joined, I've done about 20,000 tweets now. And I keep writing. So I'm looking forward to working with you. I hope, it's a pity we hadn't done this earlier. We will have gone a long way, but that's fine. That's fine. The journey of 1,000 miles takes just one step to start. So I'm looking forward to working with you. I will take you up on NUJ membership, because then that will give me access to newspapers and so on and so forth.
I will send you the link to join today, and
Okay.
I will use Heritage Television as your sponsor. So that will
Thank
be
you.
quite straightforward, sir. It shouldn't.
Thank you.
It will not be any problem, sir.
Thank you very much indeed. And then once that is done, then I will have the opportunity of maybe writing to newspapers and writing newspaper articles and so on and so forth. So we shall see. I'm very excited about what we seem to be pursuing. I'm confident that if we go along this line, the possibility is very, very high of getting a Yoruba nation. Thank you very much for inviting Eshegan. I am really very, very appreciative of the invitation, and I'm grateful that you've given me a platform to say what I have to say. I need to finally close by letting everybody know I'm not a politician. I couldn't care less about the election that is going on in Nigeria. And I'll tell you why I don't like politics at all. The politics that the Europeans have introduced to us is this: a political party selects its own representatives. It then asks you to choose their representative to become your representative. So you are choosing people you don't know. A political party is like people at a beauty pageant, like Miss World. Everybody's trotting around the place so that you can choose one of them. I hate political parties. When I have been a parish councillor here in Leicester, and I stood as an independent. And when I was on the council, I was an independent. Because it allowed me to say whatever I wanted to say, to do whatever I wanted to do, without anybody telling me this is the party line. So I have absolutely no interest in election going on in Nigeria. I'm not a politician. I couldn't care less. I always say this, that there are no angels in hell. There are no angels in hell. Nigeria is hell. Anybody who thinks that there's some kind of leader is going to come up and is going to make a difference, you're delusional. You're totally delusional. Nigeria will never work in 1,000 years Until Nigeria is dissolved, Nigerians will not benefit at all from anything. And that is the irony, that people who are clinging to Nigeria, if Nigeria breaks up, every single bit of Nigeria will do better. You go and ask the Yugoslavians since they broke up. Apart from Serbia, every single one of them has done well. Look at Croatia today. Every single one of those Yugoslav republics have done absolutely well since they left Yugoslavia. So for Nigeria, the same is going to happen. That if you have a situation where you have different countries mutually respecting each other, working with each other, Nigerians will do a lot better than they are now. And once again, finally, thank you very much for inviting me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope we can have some collaboration in the future.
Yes,
I'm
we
looking
will,
forward
we
to it.
will, and we will not leave it to relent. We will start tonight. I will send you the link later on tonight. Tomorrow,
Thank you.
I will want you to come to London as a matter of urgency as well, so that we can put some few things together, and we go a long way. And within the next week, I will set up the WhatsApp group that include all these Yoruba councillors and MPs, so that, and I will try and make you a member of that WhatsApp group as well, because they gave me all the numbers already to set up.
Okay.
Because this proposition was put forward long time ago, but unfortunately some of our people tried to sabotage it because I said I'm not a leader. Let our leader follow the line. Because it's fair enough to say let the leader. We have known face already. Let the known face do the job. Just link them up. But unfortunately, some people behind the curtain don't want it to go that way. But that is history now. What we need to do now, between now and next week Friday, is what is critical. If you have time again, on next week Thursday, I want you to come back and tell us what we've achieved from some of the things we lay down, so that we just don't talk, and nothing happens. Some of the things, okay, we set up that, we've done that, we've done this. You are now a member of NUD. You've met the Baba. If you are able to come to London this week or next week, that will give us a lot of chances, and we will not be sitting down on empty promises, because I don't want to raise people's hope for nothing. And still, my brother is there, Alabe is there. If we go to, if I have time, I will go as well, another day. If we go to 10 Downing Street and ask questions, and if your membership team comes in between now and next week or next month, before the end of this month, February, your membership card should be with you. I want you to bring it and show it. This is my NUD membership card. It's been given. And I want you to go to Downing Street and ask questions. You understand?
Okay.
Which is going to make things go in the right direction. I'm a strategist. Everything you need, I will support you with it. We will run away with this. And by the grace of God, one thing I want to say to you, sir, is that please, no matter what you do, don't become full of yourself. Don't become big-headed, right? And don't be carried away in the wrong direction with this project you have at hand, because it will work. It will work. By the grace of God, it will work. And I know there's so many other media that will want to support this, that will support you. It is not my project. It is nothing to do with me. I'm just a supporter of what you are carrying. So that will give other media houses that wants to do the right thing to support you. And that will make it easier. And the more media house you can go to, the better it is. Because I have limited numbers of viewers. Some other media houses have big viewers, database, that we hear what you're saying. You understand? And I'm not afraid for anybody to replay this on their platform, because it's going to go a long way to help us. Daddy, I want to thank you. It's a shame I don't want him to take question today. I want us to go a longer way before we can do all these things together. And then maybe next week or before the end of the month, we can come to question. But let's have some few things we have achieved first. You understand? Let's work on achievement. Don't let us work on I've written letter and promises, fake promises. We don't want to do that. You understand, sir?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay, I'm looking forward.
God bless you.
I'm looking forward.
Thank you very much, yeah. Good night, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Okay,
sir.
Odaro.
Odaro, sir.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Maybe it's the Baasegun of the whole of Yoruba land. Maybe that is what we're supposed to say. Guys, before I continue, let's go on a very, 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 very short break. The short break is just for me to refresh myself a little bit, and then we'll continue. There's so many things I want to tell you about tonight. So please, guys, don't go away. Stay there. Be ready for me, and I will make sure I give it to you in the proper way. And tí bá dé paradé, mo máa make sure pé mo máa sọ Yorùbá ju òyìnbó lọ. Ó yá, ẹ má ti lọ o.
Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa gbé kú. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa gbé kúrò níbẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa gbé kúrò níbẹ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ fi sílẹ̀ níbẹ̀. Àní ẹ jẹ́ kó wà níbẹ̀. Heritage Television. #1 television. Padimiya, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. Heritage Television, #1.
Heritage. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bá wa dòwò pọ̀ ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́. Heritage event tuntun ti dé. 360 photo booth 160 LED play projector ohun èlò ìgbàlódé lóríṣiríṣi. Heritage ni o. Ilẹ̀ gbàgbẹ́ Heritage níjàre.
Ní Heritage event àti gẹ̀rẹ́gẹ̀dígẹ̀ àti tẹ̀síwájú iléeṣẹ́ wa ti kúrò bá ti lérò. Àwọn ohun amáyédẹrùn ìgbàlódé tó ń fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ níbi ayẹyẹ wà lẹ́ rẹpẹtẹ. Rental service lọ́lọ́kọ̀ òjọ̀kan ìyàwòrán kótópó olóbìnrin po 360 photo booths jíjí àràmàǹdà ti gbàlódé light emitting diode 160 LED screen tó ń tanná tàmálẹ̀ gàràgà. A ní flame projector ẹ̀rọ cold fireworks machine wà tó ń ṣáná wọlé ẹ̀rọ low fog machine ò gbẹ́yìn digital photography pẹ̀lú digital and special effect creations à ń ṣe live streaming service tó máa ń ṣàfihàn ayẹyẹ yín bó ti ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní gbogbo àgbáyé ó máa wò. A tún lè bá yín gbèrò tàbí mójútó àwọn ayẹyẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe bí ìgbéyàwó ìṣílé ìkómọjáde ìsìnkú àgbà àjọ̀dún ẹgbẹ́ tàbí tìjọ kílẹ̀ ń dúró dè ẹ kàn sí wa ní Heritage event lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 0333 0116 367 àti 07 367 367 555 email admic@eventspecialeffect.co.uk lórí ẹ̀rọ alátagbà www.eventspecialeffect.co.uk Heritage event giving your event that special effect.
Ilẹ̀ gbàgbẹ́ Heritage níjàre. Heritage tún ti dé. Aba Remedy ló sọ pé àìsàn ní ṣe wá. Ṣọ́múròrò àwọn ká pẹ̀lú ẹ̀dá o. Orí fífọ́ ò dáa. Máa ń pa wá ó ṣe kókó fọ́mọkùnrin. Diabetes ò dáa. Rúmọ́lẹ́gùn ò dára káyé má bá wọn jà o.
àbí o kàlàfíà wọn máa ti fíafíà o. bí iléeṣẹ́ Aba Remedy ṣe ń fọn rẹ̀ pé ká tọ́jú ara wa pẹ̀lú àwọn oògùn ìbílẹ̀ tiwantiwa. egbògi ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pọ́nbélé tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fáwọn onírúurú àìsàn bíi ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru high blood pressure ìtọ̀ ṣúgà diabetes ẹ̀fọ́rí túlù migraine àwọ̀ká arthritis nárùn body inching ṣọmúlọ́rọ̀ àtẹ̀dá tó dààmú àwọn obìnrin Yorùbá natural Aba Remedy ló lè yanjú ẹ̀. manpower ọkùnrin làdá tó ń fáwọn ọkùnrin lágbára láti ṣojú ṣe wọn lọ́dọ̀ àwọn aya wọn. ọ̀sẹ̀ àánú náà wà mercy soap fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ràn àánú gbà. Aba Remedy láti lè ṣe Heritage TV London. ẹ lè rí àláwọ̀ àdírẹ́sì tó ń kọjá lójú wòran yìí tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè nọ́mbà yìí +44 777 8957 893 lè ṣe Heritage TV London ló ń pariwo wípé àìsàn àtàrùn onífàgọ́ ara wa ṣe bùgbé o.
Rúmọ́lẹ́gùn ò dára káyé má bá wọn jà o. Heritage TV for your next event. Rental services. We are the best at what we do.
Heritage events for your next event. What are your requests? Let's enhance you with various modern facilities that will make your event very successful. With Heritage events, giving your event that special effect. We engage in rental service. We provide you with 160 light emitting diode, LED screen, 360 photo booth also available, flame projector, cold fireworks machine, and low fog machine, digital photography, also digital and special effect creation. location. We also give live streaming services. We can also manage and plan your event for you, such as wedding ceremony, housewarming, child dedication, burial ceremony, clubs and churches anniversary. So what are you waiting for? Contact us now on 0333 0116 367 or 07367 367 555. Email admin@eventspecialeffect.co.uk. Website www.eventspecialeffect.co.uk. Heritage Events, giving your event that special effect.
We are the best at what we do. Heritage, oh.
Quick Cargo
Limited. From London to Nigeria.
Quick Cargo Limited. We specialize in shipping and air freight from London to Nigeria. We provide you with high quality, affordable and reliable shipping platform globally. Quick Cargo Limited. We collect from your door within London with free pickup. Your containers, cash shipping, air freight services, shipment shipping, plant machinery and professional packing services. All this we do to satisfy you. London address, Unit 1215. Access Self Storage, Kingsbridge Road, Alfred Way, back in IG 11 OBD. Telephone +44 79 04 04 1142 +44 79 6021 2185 +44 78 4949 4970. Nigeria address number 1 Molara Alibaba Close behind CPM Church, Ajao Estate, Lagos. Telephone 090-7083 3630. Website www.quickcargo.co.uk. Email info@quickcargo.co.uk. Quick Cargo Limited, affordable and reliable shipping
from London to Nigeria.
Guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate you for staying tuned with me. Mi ò lè dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín tán. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá mi Baasegun. Àwọn ni wọ́n ti ń bá a sọ̀rọ̀ láti bí wákàtí méjì sẹ́yìn. Ọpẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà ní orí ètò pẹ̀lú mi, ẹ̀yin bàbá mi, ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, ẹ̀yin ọ̀rẹ́ mi, ẹ̀yin tèmi gangan látàrí alúmọ̀lẹ̀. Somebody is asking pé Koiki should be part of the team. Koiki will always support anything that he believes in. And Koiki is not new to Baasegun. Koiki has interviewed Baasegun so many times. And this is my first time of interviewing him. You understand? So it's not a matter of whether Koiki wants to join. I'm sure Koiki is part of the team already. And anything that wants to make this journey easy, Koiki, I'm sure he will not say. Because I don't know if you know that this boy, this boy knows. I don't know if you know. He knows what he wants, and I'm sure he knows how to get it better. May God help us. Let me correct some notion. I want to correct some few notions. As you lay your bed, as you sleep on it, if you do things right, if you do it properly, if you follow things through properly, if you have something called paper trail, nobody, because this country believes so much in paper trail, and whatever they do today, remember, will be available in the public domain in some few years' time. So when you're doing it with word of mouth, it can go against you. But when you're doing it with paper trail, I can guarantee you everybody will follow protocol. They will follow the right protocol. So this is something we might want to do. If we have to do it right, we have to do it right. And we will try as much as possible to do it right. Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè afúnwaṣe. Everybody should keep doing what they're doing. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń jà fún ìjàngbara yìí. Your action, what you're doing now, is very important to us. Please don't stop. Continue. Ẹ máa ṣe lọ. A máa pàdé níwájú. It will make it easy because a lè ní eléyìí ló máa kọ́kọ́ bọ́ sí kó jẹ́ tí ń tẹ̀ ń ṣe tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn tó ti go far yẹn ló máa kọ́kọ́ bọ́ sí. So please don't stop. Continue doing what you're doing. Ẹ bá máa fà síwájú, ẹ bá máa fà sẹ́yìn. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ bá mọ̀ ṣe, ẹ máa ṣe. Ọlọ́run á san oníkálukú lẹ́san tó tọ́ àti tó tọ̀nà láṣẹ ti Elédùà. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti bá ń wò, ẹ ti bá ń ṣe. Mo sọ fún yín, mo ní agbára Ọlọ́run ọba tó dá ayé àti ọ̀run gbogbo nǹkan tó bá gbà la máa fún pé kíkiní kó lè tètè di bẹ́ẹ̀ kó lè tètè wáyé. Ẹ̀yin ìyá mi, ẹ̀yin bàbá mi, don't give yourself heart attack o, please. Don't give yourself stress on this. Be rest assured pé ó máa wáyé láṣẹ ti Elédùmarè. Àwa ló kù sí lọ́wọ́, àwa ló wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ jù, àwa la níṣẹ́ tá a fẹ́ ṣe tó pọ̀ jù. Tí a bá ṣe bí Ọlọ́run ṣe ní kí a ṣe, kì í ṣe bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe o, Ọlọ́run ṣe ní kí a ṣe, ó máa ń tètè yanjú àdúnṣe bí kí Ọlọ́run lọ́wọ́ sí. Ṣẹ̀gbọ́n nǹkan tí mo sọ ṣá, àdúnṣe bí nǹkan tọ́lọ́run lọ́wọ́ sí, aṣòro ṣe bí nǹkan tọ́lọ́run ò lọ́wọ́ sí. Somebody was telling me, oh, Mr. Heritage, you should have done this long time ago. They sent me a WhatsApp message. Look, there are some few things you don't want to be in the front. You let people do what they believe in. Then you can now say, well, I told you this is what we're supposed to do. But if you said this step you want to take is what the distractors don't want, and they will, and that's why they delayed that motion was moved. Please don't listen to any advice on this from people you don't trust. I don't think we're going to take advice anyway, because Babalo Maron come support one. And with the so honest opinion, I said to Babakwe, please don't become big-headed when things started going in the right direction. Don't become full of yourself. Don't do afimi when things started going in the right direction. And don't underestimate what other people are doing. Don't condemn. Do your own thing. Don't condemn what anybody else is doing. If you know it's a lie, keep it to yourself. If you know it's the truth, keep it to yourself. If you know they're trying to spoil things, keep it to yourself. But make sure they don't spoil the things you are carrying. Oníyangi má bà tèmi jẹ́, epo ni mo rù. Ẹ̀yin lẹ wọṣọ àlà, ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n ta epo sí. That is your responsibility. Ẹni tó fẹ́ ta epo ẹ lè ní kó má ta epo, but ẹ kàn máa make sure pé kò ta epo sí tiyín ni. Ẹni tó fẹ́ bà nǹkan tó gbé dání kò ní ẹ lè ní kó má bàjẹ́, ẹ kàn máa make sure pé nǹkan tẹ́ ń gbé dání ẹ nígbà kẹ́nikẹ́ni bàjẹ́ ni. Nǹkan tó important nìyẹn. Mo kí ọkùnrin, mo kí obìnrin. Bí mo ṣe sọ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan tẹ́nibọ́dì lè ṣe sí. Ìlú yìí ó máa dàrú. Orílẹ̀-èdè yẹn, àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè ó máa dàrú. Kò sí nǹkan tí ẹ lè ṣe sí, ó máa dàrú ṣáà ni. Nítorí pé àṣẹ Elédùmarè ni. Ọlọ́run tó ní kí Mósè ní ọ̀pá kó fi ná odò, Ọlọ́run yẹn ò tí kúrò lórí ìtẹ́, Elédùmarè yẹn ò tí kúrò bẹ́ẹ̀, ó sì ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn. Gbogbo nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe yẹn lágbára Ọlọ́run ló máa ní èsì. Kò dẹ̀ ní ṣe èsì lásán, èsì ayọ̀ ló máa ní. Gbogbo wa ní láti sowọ́pọ̀. Èmi ò fẹ́ division. Uncle D, ma try gone, because I have about 4 meetings that I have to reschedule. That because of that. So I don't want you to look at things that maybe in condition. Irọ́ ń parọ́ fún ké, irọ́ ń parọ́ fún irọ́. Ní ọ̀rọ̀ ilé ayé 23-24 lọ́rọ̀ ilé ayé ó dẹ̀ ti ń lọ síbẹ̀. My prayer ni wípé a ti rìn jìnnà so that dùgbẹ̀dùgbẹ̀ tó fẹ́ já yìí kò ní jálé wa lórí púpọ̀ jù nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Yes, I know we haven't talked yet. Dùgbẹ̀dùgbẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ lókè yìí kò ní já púpọ̀ sílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ó dá mi lójú pé gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn alàgbà kan ṣe máa ń sọ, wọ́n ní ẹni máa kú, ẹni tó máa kú ló máa kú. Òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ ni, ẹni máa kú. Ojoojúmọ́ lèèyàn kú. ṣùgbọ́n lágbára Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn tó ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá wọ́n máa tì wá lẹ́yìn wọ́n ní tì wá lójú. Gbogbo nǹkan tí Ọlọ́run ṣe ó yí Ọlọ́run. Tí Ọlọ́run bá gba èèyàn kan láàyè láti dá nǹkan kan rú ó nídìí o. Ó nídìí o. Ó lè dá mi lójú pé kò sẹ́ni tó tó Ọlọ́run nínú wa. Kò sẹ́ni tó tó Ọlọ́run nínú wa. Ọlọ́run lè jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run ló rán àwọn tó ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kó máa ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. So what do you do? Are you God? If God said that is what they want. Èèyàn kan sọ fún mi pé lánàá nígbà tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn kan sọ̀rọ̀ Júdásì, èèyàn kan sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn olùbàjẹ́. But olùbàjẹ́ mi wà tó jẹ́ pé ire ni wọ́n gbé dání wọ́n rò pé bàjẹ́ láwọn gbé dání. Má dé ṣàlàyé fún yín nítorí pé tí wọ́n bá ṣe ìwà wọn yẹn tí wọ́n bá ṣe kárí tabadélẹ̀ Yorùbá máa trust wọn. Tabadé trust wọn ó máa fa wàhálà fún wa. Wàhálà tó máa fà fún wa yẹn làwọn ò fẹ́. Ṣùgbọ́n tí ẹ̀kọ́ bá ti fi ojú mímú hàn fúnra rẹ̀, so we will know how to handle it. And to the glory of God, we've seen every rancoring that's been going on. Ó wá kù sí ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan wa lọ́wọ́ láti sọ pé I will do my best. It's a shame the songs we used to learn when we were young, they don't teach young people anymore. Even I don't think 30 years old me more here. It's one of the fundamental songs you have to learn. Nígbà tẹ́ wà ní primary school. Ó ní wọ́n sọ pé do your best and leave the rest. Do your best and leave the rest. Boys and girls of Ọmọlẹ́wà, do your best and leave the rest. The good thing about it is that gbogbo àdúrà tá ń gbalẹ̀ ní jẹ́mẹ́ta ẹ̀ Ọlọ́run kan fi àṣẹ sí ni. Oladele, can you please delete your comment? I don't appreciate people that wants to cause distraction. Like I said, Heritage, you're on point. Don't condemn, don't debunk, don't frustrate other people's effort. Just do your own thing. Oladele, can you hear me? Can you delete it? If you want to delete it, let me know. If you don't want to delete it, let me know. If you don't want to delete, just say anything to me that you don't want to. And if you want to, please delete it. Okay. Let me tell you one thing. I don't want to talk, but some people will make me talk. And there's no point in me talking if it's not going to take us forward. I want everybody to do whatever they want to do. But don't condemn, don't debunk, don't destroy. If they're lying to you, boju. If they're saying the truth to you, follow. Whatever you think is appropriate, just let them do, let them be. Can I tell you how Jesus was very successful with his ministry? He knew Judas is going to do what he was doing. But kí ló ṣe? Ó gbójú. Bí rọ́bà lọ fógún ọdún, òótọ́ máa bá lọ́jọ́ kan. Do you know how long dem ti ń gbójú ni? Èmi kiri kékeré. For the last 2 years, dem ti ń gbójú. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ṣe mọ́lé ní èmi tí mo ti pẹ́pẹ́. But mo gbójú, ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n máa ṣe lọ. Tó bá yá, nǹkan tó ní kálukú ń ṣe á jáde síta. I've blocked him from this channel. I don't need people like that on this channel. I'm sorry. I'm not looking for crowd. I'm looking for human being. KP, you know, we know about so many things. May 2021, North Daifa, I was there. In Kotojakin were involved in Ifani because they said some few things that was alarming. Yes, Elimara Rofa, Emi Ora Rofa. Ifate mi se Ifa kò sí rọ́mbẹ̀. And we don't deceive people. I don't deceive people with my own Ifa. And I get results to the glory of God. So many people who has worked with me in the problem of their life knows exactly that this is a factual thing. Some problem in people's life might be persistent. Yes, it's possible. But the problem you only solve here with a lot of effort will be solved. We're saying in the Old Testament they were using the Isheshe. If that is the case, Abraham and Sarah, have they not done so many things before finally somebody came and give them a link and they click and and it happens. Bóyá ìtàn ṣe lálejò ǹjẹ́ bóyá bàbá onífá bóyá ó dáfá fún wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ni bóyá àwọn kan sọ fún wa ni. Ọlọ́run á gbà fún gbogbo wa ojú òní tiwa kò ń dùn kò pọ̀ kò kí ń dùn kò pọ̀ ṣókí ní ọbẹ̀ oge ni wọ́n pè é. I want to build on this program we did today so that we can get some even better things out. KP, I've said that so many times. It's not about fighting. Fighting don't solve. I don't want people to die because if I'm in there, I don't know how to fight. And I know there are so many people in my category that don't know how to fight. Ọ̀lẹ́ni mi ò lè jà. Mi ò tí fọ́ọ̀kan bọ̀rí láyé mi. Adelani Alamu. Thank you for coming back to Yoruba Nation. We will get people back. We will get people back. I have a guest tomorrow. I'm going to keep it a secret. The reason I want to keep it a secret is that I am not 100% sure if there's going to be a program tomorrow. If there's going to be a program tomorrow, it will be 8 o'clock again tomorrow. So, and I will publish the flyer. So if you have not subscribed, this is your chance to subscribe so that and click the bell so that when I come on tomorrow, you will know. Alabe number 1, thank you for joining. Ekaboma. Dada lede. Ekushe Olúwa. Etijino siwa o. Ewajino siwa o. If you're just joining, it's a lovely program today. You might want to go back and watch it from the beginning. You would love it. And if all the things we stipulate there, with the glory of God, if we can achieve it, The judicial review is the first step. And I can confidentially say to you that I will do all the running that I will make sure it happens. Lasheti Ledumare. David, I think, okay, sorry, I haven't done your job, so I'm sorry I haven't done it yet. But don't worry, I'll get it done to you tomorrow. I've been busy today. That's why. No, that is not what I said though, Auntie Bumi Adegbe. What I said is that it's £250, I think a year. I think if I'm right, it's a year. But even if it's a month, how much is £250 a month? What's more for to Los Angeles? Far more than that. Pule Yoruba. Understand? So £250 a month. A month is not a problem. But the NUJ, by next week Friday, it will come here. Next week Thursday, it will be here and said, hey, I'm a member of NUJ. So that we just don't talk, we do what we say. Whatever we promise, we will deliver. Because my God is a God of deliverance. Okay, I don't know, maybe I should open the line. Should I open the line or should I finish it here? If you want me to open the line is open. If in the next few minutes the phone doesn't ring, I will call it a day because I need to go and relax myself. So in the next few minutes, if the line doesn't ring, okay, Uncle, I remove people from the group if I believe people are causing problems. And since the time I remove you, it's been very, very quiet on that platform. People are saying it's becoming toxic, right? And since I remove you, it's been very, very quiet, right? One of the things we do wrong that I don't like is that when I share my program that I'm doing currently onto the show, some people will go back and share other people's program right on top of that to intentionally block the program I've done. Okay, Baba me abi yami egbon's okay. E try láti sílẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín ṣá o. Hello ma. Hello sir. Oya, ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ sókè sir. Ẹ kúrò bàbá.
Àti Canada mo ti ń pè o.
Okay, oya gbọ́ ti yín ọ̀gá mi.
Okay sir. Ṣé mo fẹ́ draw attention yín sí Think Yoruba First.
Ben sir. The program I did on Saturday, yes.
Yeah, so what happened Chief Alabe? Not also.
Yes, sir.
One British government.
Hold on.
Amalgamation.
Ben.
On January 1st, 2014. So, what was some kind of want to law because so, what for me concern in the conclusion meeting, she also revalidate the amalgamation and I want to represent the interest Yoruba. To law.
Okay. I will tell you the truth. I don't know much about that meeting. I myself don't know much about the meeting. But I will try and make my own research and find out whether it's true or it's false. Because now we need to be very careful what is true and what is false.
Because that is the first time British government meeting to the amalgamation. it is the first time after the expiration of the amalgamation. This is the first time what they call Nigerian government officials. It's a meeting.
Okay. Let me tell you one thing. So many people said amalgamation expires. I don't believe it. I don't believe that crap. I believe it's a complete crap. You understand? Amalgamation must have gone in the bin since we get our independence.
Okay.
You understand? So I don't believe. I'm a logical reasoner. I reason logically. I don't reason like a dog. You understand? And I don't believe in that story of amalgamation expiring in 2014 or 20. So I don't believe there's. It might be. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I don't believe in it, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Ogami to ṣe pé wọlé ẹ kálẹ́ sir.
Heritage International ẹ̀kúṣẹ́ sir.
Ọlọ́run àjọ ṣe náà ni èmi àti ìjọba bí ni wà.
God bless you so richly.
Thank you, sir.
Orúkọ tèmi is Tunde and I'm calling from Texas, even though I chart as safety domain.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
The Lord will bless you and bless Baasegun for the program of
today,
this evening or tonight.
Thank you.
It's a fantastic one, and I think if we follow this approach, Baasegun will always say something. You pay Onako Waja does not mean that we go in different ways. It does not mean a parallel line. Baasegun sọ wípé Onako Waja is operating a funnel model, which is in all directions that we are putting in on our effort, it should come out to the same thing.
Thanks.
That is the funnel approach tí Baasegun sọ. And according to Olayomi Koiki, so Nigeria is a big elephant.
Yes.
And we can kill it in different ways with different weapons.
Yes.
What is important at the end of the day, we should kill it.
Yes.
And by the time we kill it, what are we aiming at getting? We are aiming at getting only one Yoruba nation, like I said yesterday, not multiple ones, only one. And if it is only one, therefore, this is a very, very laudable project that we need to pursue to conclusion, while every other method is going on. But
Thank
what
you.
is important right now is our approach to it.
Hold on, sir. I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love what you said there. While every other people's effort is going on, we don't want people to abandon what they were doing before. Just continue what you're doing.
No. And we are not even looking at which one is more credible or which one is more viable. Every one of it is going to be a big blow on the elephant. So let's begin to kill it differently. Let's not condemn what the next person is doing. Let's focus on whatever we want to do. You understand? And as we do that, you can make sure this project, we are able to come up with milestones. Okay, we already identified the objective, we set our goals, we break it into milestone. By this time, we want to take this step. What are the resources that we need to do that? Let's form the think tanks and then let's begin to pursue it. If we do it, it's not in the interest of people like us, it's in the interest of the generations that are yet to be born. It is not because of position, it's not because of any other benefit, but the only benefit we want to see is that, like I said in my comments, the amalgamation of Nigeria has been 109 years ago, and the independence has been 63 years ago. And what we call democracy today, which is fake, has been 23 years ago. And which means all these generations that have been born within this period, they have been wasted. And we cannot afford to continue in this waste. That is why every one of us needs to put our efforts. And if we do it the right way, we will be amazed at the caliber of elites that we want to identify with this struggle. Everybody, to get Yoruba, a lot of billionaires that are Yorubas, they prefer to have a Yoruba nation that works, a Yoruba nation that will be reckoned with in the Committee of Nations, and not a Nigeria that is fake and has never worked. They know it. But the fact is this: nobody wants to soil their reputation by joining miscreants or people who does not even know what is going on, but they are busy talking and abusing and cursing. So if we can take that out by not condemning what others are doing, or what we are doing is more superior than what others are doing, believe me, honestly, we'll be amazed at the caliber of people that will come in.
Good.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much, Uncle. I really appreciate your comments, sir. Ọlọ́run bá mi dúró tì yín.
Thank you so much.
Bàbá mi
And you
láti
too, sir.
London,
Thank
ẹgbẹ́
you, sir.
ìsìnkú ẹ̀ ti wà lórí ìkànnì pẹ̀lú mi.
All right, sir. So I will keep in touch with you.
Thanks, sir. Hello, Uncle.
Hello, sir.
Báwo ni?
Ẹ kálẹ́ o.
Ẹ kálẹ́ bàbá.
Adúpẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ètò náà.
Yes, sir.
Mo kàn fẹ́ mu níbi mo kàn ra disagree pẹ̀lú yín ní olórí amalgamation yẹn pé ẹ believe pé ó exist.
No, pé ó ti expire. Say something expired 2014. I don't believe that. I've looked into it and I don't believe it. And again, when you have a process and you agree in 1950 something to go to another class, and Lord Lugard himself said, if you do any business with the northerner, you are doing it at your own peril. A lot of people don't count that. I have the book. You understand? But I like what Baasegun said. He said he doesn't believe in his qualification, he believes in results. So many people said they have qualification and they will go to Downing Street and they go to White House, they go to everywhere and talk jargons. You understand?
Okay.
So,
second me.
Oh yeah, continue, sir.
Okay. Jadi reason get me ṣe sọ pé èmi believe pé ó exist. Àwọn òyìnbó àti àwọn èèyàn kan, àwọn ẹ̀yà kankan tó yìnbó kò láì pẹ̀lú against àwọn original people, àwọn original owner of the land in Nigeria. Àwọn náà jọ ń ṣe pọ̀. Kẹ́ bá wò nígbà tí Buhari wọlé. Buhari ó rule Nigeria in a way bí ẹni pé kò sí constitution.
Yes.
Tẹ́ bá ta jókòó ká rò ó. It's because ó mọ̀ pé kìíní yẹn ti expire. Tẹ́ bá wò the rate bí wọ́n nígbà tí Buhari wọlé the rate tí àwọn Fúlàní yẹn ṣe ń wá sọ́dọ̀ wa.
Uncle, you're not looking at the bigger picture, sir. You're not looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that we know Buhari is not a Nigerian. His great-grandfather are from Nigeria Republic. And every Fulani man will always want to bring more Fulani people to wherever you are. These are the people that help him to get into power. These are the people that they wanted to fight Jonathan with.
Ẹ dúró ná. Kò ń ṣe orí Buhari irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ti wà nígbà democracy tàti bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí. Wọ́n wà nígbà Ọbásanjọ́. Àwọn Ọbásanjọ́ náà wọ́n kó wá ní wọ́n fi ń tọ̀mẹ́ǹtì Buhari as opposition. Ẹ rántí ìgbà Ọbásanjọ́ kò ń power yí Àdúrà wà ń bẹ̀. Tèmi ó lọ bá wọn kó láti negotiate pẹ̀lú wọn pé sódà wọn á lè ju administrative yí Àdúrà lẹ̀. So that a lè govern dáadáa. So ṣẹ́ni wọ́n ti mọ̀ àwọn western country wọ́n ti hint àwọn Fúlàní. Ṣẹ́ni Fúlàní àwọn òyìnbó lo Fúlàní as machinery against àwọn original owner of the land ní gbogbo Africa ni. Nǹkan tí mo sọ yìí mi ti rí kàánú ìwé rí but èmi believe pé tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ wo bóyìnbó ṣe máa operate bọ́n ṣe máa operate nìyẹn.
Ẹ jẹ́ kí n béèrè kankan lọ́wọ́ yín sir. Where does the Fulani comes from?
Where does Fulani comes from? Ṣé pure answer fún where does Fulani comes from? Tá a bá gba Yorùbá nation wa ó máa tú jáde. Ṣé anybody kó bá jáde lénìí wọ́n bá sọ pé Fúlàní ò nílẹ̀ bàbá Kítóyè máa sọ wọ́n ní wọn ò nílẹ̀ lágbàáyé. I don't believe it but bí education bí ibi tí wọ́n ti ta
ẹ̀dọ́ Okay.
Ṣẹ́rí bí wọ́n ti rò ó nìyẹn. But bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe ń study pẹ̀lú mi ṣe wá sílùú òyìnbó yìí, nǹkan ti study nínú òyìnbó. Ṣẹ́rí Fúlàní kò ṣe pé wọn ò níbi tí wọ́n gbé, kò ṣe pé wọn ò nílẹ̀. Òyìnbó ti da ogbó ẹ̀rú, àwọn mọ ilẹ̀ wọn. Ṣẹ́rí àwa ó dìgbà bá gba ilẹ̀ wa ló máa tú àṣírí ibi tí Fúlàní máa ti wá. Ṣẹ́rí ká bá gba Yorùbá nation, a lot of things máa tú jáde.
Uncle AYO, there are some people called Afro-Asians. Do you know who these people are?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Afro-Asians are the Fulanis.
Okay.
And they were not accepted in Asia. And I will give you a scenario. In most cases, Asia to buy black people. And Asia on the back, Asia senior.
Okay. Ṣẹ́rí nǹkan tẹ́ sọ sí ẹ̀yin náà ti rí pé ẹ ti break nǹkan tí mò ń sọ. Nígbà tí àwọn yẹn ò accept wọn, ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn ni òyìnbó lò because wọ́n náwó dúdú.
Ẹ ti jẹ́ kí n sọ tán. Ẹ má jẹ́ ń gbàgbé kankan. Ẹ má jẹ́ kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn, ẹ má jẹ́ ń gbàgbé kankan. Tó bá jẹ́ pé òótọ́ ni Britain pè àwọn Yorùbá fún meeting bí Kọ́lá ẹ̀ ṣe sọ, ó lè jẹ́ rumors o, ó lè jẹ́ òótọ́ o, but ó dá ká máa prepare fún. Èmi máa advice o from my own little knowledge o, from my own little knowledge. Anybody tó bá jẹ́ bí Professor Banjinsin, ẹ mọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ló yàn wọ́n nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n máa lọ sí meeting yẹn. Then ta ni ọba institution ọba wo ló wà ní meeting yẹn nígbà wọ́n ṣe meeting yẹn? Throne wo ni Aláàfin èèyàn tó bá wà ní throne yẹn nígbà yẹn ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní representative ń bẹ. Ṣẹ́rí àwọn méjì tá a fẹ́ lò yìí, ẹ bá wọ àwọn méjì tí mo pè yẹn, institution yẹn kò wà fún politics. Akíntóyè because ẹgbẹ́ ló yàn, kò sí politics ló jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n máa lọ ṣe negotiation tó dáa, wọ́n á dẹ̀ máa wá fún wa ní ààbọ̀. Ó yé yín. But tá a bá ní APC ló wà ń bẹ̀ ń sìn, ta ló leader APC tó lọ on behalf of Yorùbá? Irọ́ ni o, ẹ má dá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Tó bá tiẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ó jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lóòótọ́ pé wọ́n pè o, ẹ má ever já ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ because ẹ rántí òyìnbó máa ń like divide and rule. Ẹ̀yin gbọ́dọ̀ gáìdì ibi tí divide and rule máa ti wá lọ́dọ̀ wa. Tá bá mú ẹgbẹ́ lọ, tá bá ní APC, ẹ rántí pé PDP máa wá kí nílé, Labour máa wá kí nílé lọ́dọ̀ wa. Ó yé yín, nǹkan tó yìnbó dẹ̀ fẹ́ nìyẹn. Ọ̀nà tí ò ní fi ní ìjà, ò ní kẹ́ jẹ́ kí gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ kó ṣe Yorùbá, ẹgbẹ́ kọ̀yà o, ẹgbẹ́ aláṣọ o, ẹgbẹ́ yàdrẹ́sà o, èèyàn kan. Wọ́n bá ti yan onítàn yẹn á ní institution, á ní accountant ẹ̀, á ní oríṣiríṣi èèyàn kó máa tẹ̀lé. Then nígbà tí wọ́n ṣe agreement yẹn gbà yẹn, institution wo ló represent Yorùbá gangan nínú àwọn ọba orí adé? Then I don't want us to speculate on this one. I will find out for you tomorrow. I will mention it in my next program, whether this was true or this was false.
Anything, wọ́n bá pè wá fún any negotiation sí ẹlẹ́gbọ̀n. Anything, wọ́n bá pè Yorùbá fún negotiation. Ẹ jẹ́ kí èèyàn tí ẹgbẹ́ bá ti yàn. Ẹ má lo ẹgbẹ́ political ẹgbẹ́ o. No, because political institutions are near as at now. They are not well introduced to us at all. Wọ́n kàn fọ́ọ̀mù wọn in a rubbish way ni. But àwọn ẹgbẹ́ Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà, ẹgbẹ́ Ẹ̀yọ̀ lọ́jà, ẹgbẹ́ Ẹ̀yọ̀ lóúnjẹ, ẹgbẹ́ Ẹ̀yọ̀ dẹ́dẹ́sà, ẹ mọ̀ àárín ara wọn náà ti fọ́ọ̀mù ẹgbẹ́ yẹn, wọ́n dẹ̀ unite, wọ́n dẹ̀ fi ìmùlẹ̀ sí ẹgbẹ́ wọn, irú wọn ní ká yàn láàrin wọn kó represent wa.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate your contribution. But give me till tomorrow. I will come back to you, sir, Uncle. God bless you, sir. Bye-bye. Guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I think I'm gonna call it a day today. Ní àṣẹ Elédùmarè ẹnikẹ́ni nínú wa kò ní ṣàìsàn. Ṣùgbọ́n kójú má rí bí gbogbo ara ní ògùn ẹ̀. Lèmi ṣe ń polówó abárẹ́mẹ́dì product fún yín, ń po detox. Ẹni tẹ́sẹ̀ bá ń dùn tó ní arthritis, ẹni tẹ́yìn bá ń dùn, ẹni tí life ẹ̀ ò normal because they maybe ikùn ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí tóbi ikùn tèmi náà ṣe nígbà kan tàbí kí bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí feel unnecessary àbútó sanra. Anybody who is using 2x and you're not looking after it to bring it down, you're looking for trouble. Anybody that is using 2x and you're not doing anything to bring your size down, you're looking for trouble. Unless you're 9 feet tall. Because if you're 9 feet tall and you're 2x, you're still okay. Otherwise, we need to do so many things in a way that will make life very, very easy and you can live a long life. If you don't want to, if you want to really live a long life, it will be better for you to look after your health. It will be far better for you to look after your health. If you don't look after your health, well, you know what is coming. And what is coming might not be the best for you because you just need to look after your own health. Ọwọ́ ara ẹni la máa fi ń kọ mẹ́jẹ. Ọwọ́ ara ẹni ni la máa fi kọ mẹ́jẹ. You need to look after your health. You need to look after your life. You need to look after everything you're doing in a way that will make it better for you. Nǹkan tó máa sọ fún yín nìyẹn. Ọlọ́run àánú adúró ti gbogbo wa. Ojú òní tí yín. If you need anything, please contact any of the number that is going on underneath. Arthritis for elderly people, àwọn tẹ́sẹ̀ máa ń ro tí wọ́n lè gun kí wọ́n máa gun stairs kó máa dó lọ́nà kó máa lè gun stairs dáadáa. It is very, very bad. If you are 2x and you are over 60 years old and you go jogging, you're doing yourself a damage. Scientists, scientists ló sọ. If you are 2x and you go for jogging, you're looking for trouble. If you're 60 years old, the only thing you can do is to find a way to bring your weight down drastically. And if you think you need that help, you can actually call me and speak to me about it. And I can do whatever God has sent me to do in Konle Babawa. I can help you with it. I can point you in the right direction. Àwọn mọ́mí kan pè mí lénìí, wọ́n ní eyín dùn àwọn, pé kí la ní fún yín. Mo ní mọ́mí, màá kọ yín lóògùn yín, ẹ lọ ra oògùn yín báyìí. Ẹ ra cloves, kẹ gún kúkú náà. Ẹ lè dá sínú blender kúkú náà. Ẹ wá mix ẹ̀ mọ́ toothpaste kékeré, ẹ máa fi síbẹ̀. Ẹ dẹ̀ ra TCP. The TCP will go a long way to make sure your life is better. The TCP will go a long way to make sure you don't struggle. Because the TCP, you just dilute it and you do your mash with it. You'll be surprised. You'll be so surprised. Olódùmarè, agbó àdúrà gbogbo wa o. Ojú òní tiwa o. A ní fi àìsàn ló gbà. A ní fi àìsàn ló gbà. Àìsàn nǹkan burúkú ni. Ẹni tó bá ní diabetes tí ò bá tọ́jú ẹ̀ tí ò tètè get rid ẹ̀. Diabetes is a very, very bad disease. Because every night you go to bed with diabetes, when your system is flushing, doing whatever it's doing to your blood in the middle, because I don't know if you know that every night about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, your blood system do some few works. I don't know if you know. Your system, your body do some few works to your blood. Every time it makes your system, your kidney meet too much sugar in your bloodstream, is damaging that kidney bit by bit. It doesn't get damaged in one day. So it is paramount that you don't go to bed with too much sugar in your blood system. That is why they advise you to eat at 7. But what about people like me that can't eat at 7? can't eat at 7. Even if I want to eat at 7, I don't have the time. 7 o'clock, I'm still maybe just waking up and then come prepare. Sometimes I don't even have time to sleep lately. And the evening sleep is good for me, for my health. You understand? It's good for my health because every nap you take in the afternoon, in the evenings, it gives you so many days on top of your lifespan. You can Google it too. And people said to you, you can't get rid of diabetes. Bullshit. You can get rid of diabetes. You can get rid of diabetes. The detox is very good. The new product, what do they call it again? Super Slim Metabolism. Fantastic. You can lose weight easily with it. I think we only got about 16 left from the 100 that we're selling at half price. After the 16 is gone, it becomes 80 pounds for 180 capsules. Then you use it according to your size. If you're 2X and above, you use 2 capsules 3 times a day. If you're single X, you use 2 capsules twice a day. If you're 1X, if you're large, you use 2 capsules 3 times. 2 capsules. No, you use X. Large use 2 capsules a day. 2 extra large use 2 capsules twice a day. 2X use 2 capsules 3 times a day. And you will find out that diabetes, you will start losing weight, and diabetes and you will lose weight. Thank you then. Uncle me, which one show that's in Abi. Hello, sir. Hello, hey, my God, okay. Okay. So all these are the things that you need to do for yourself, for your own health. Mommy, me tea sheep, but multi incorporate. I thought you said you want to add some few things to it. In continue, tea sheep any. We have to bash it on, Mommy Joyce. To bash it on me so that I can ship yours as well. I thought you said you want to add some few things to it. In continue, we say she ship any because it won't be economical to ship once and again. So we have to bash it on, so I can ship it tomorrow or Monday for you. Like bara Olodumare. Mo ki ọkùnrin, mo ki obìnrin, mo ki onílé, mo ki àlejò. I cannot stress it enough. I'm enjoying my life better now than 1.5 years ago. 1.5 years ago, I wasn't this healthy. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kí lẹ sọ ẹ jẹ́ kí n wo nǹkan tẹ́ ẹ kọ síbẹ̀ o. Uncle mi mọ̀ pé 2X lẹ́ ń wọ̀ o. I didn't know pé 2X lẹ́ ń wọ̀ o. Seriously, if you are wearing 2X, you need to look after yourself to bring it down as a matter of urgency. Uncle, I seriously mean it. I was 2X, 3X before, and you guys, it's not where you can see yourself. You can see it yourself. Uncle, if you're wearing 2X, you know the half price on the new metabolism things. You need to rush into it. But you need to keep a very strong eyes on your sugar level. Because you know the sugar level is what develops when you start getting belly fat. It means there's too much sugar that your system is converting into fat in your system. If you don't start looking after it then, if you go and exercise, when you're younger, you have a strong metabolism. You can walk. But when you are getting older, it doesn't work anymore. Believe me sincerely, it doesn't. Okay, Uncle, I will send it with your next shipment. You can Google it. Piperine, Piperine. Capsaicin, Capsaicin. And there's another one called Carvacrol. All these things are packed into the new product. And what does it do? It makes your life better. Guys, I want to even wear small and look more healthy. Because when you are not big, especially for short man devil like me, when you are not big, you're going to have a comfortable life. Before, I don't like going downstairs. I don't like it. Because by the time I go downstairs, now I can go downstairs 3-4 times a day. Before, my wife would say, let's go out. Even in the afternoon, I would say, I beg, go yourself. But now I can go out. I can go downstairs. I can go downstairs so easily now these days. It doesn't bother me. Because when I'm coming back upstairs, I don't struggle anymore. You are number one. Your body is number one. Not the house you want to build up. Not your family that you want to send money to back home in Nigeria. But you are number one. You are the money-making machine. Keep the money-making machine functioning. And then you're going to smile. You're going to love it. And your life will be better. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for everything you've done for me today. I love you. I love you. I love you. If you need anything, the number of the agents are at the bottom. Of course, you can call me if you need me to diagnose you. But if you don't need, if you just want to buy straight, right, you can just buy straight. Right? And that will make your life a little bit. Okay, Uncle, don't worry. Don't worry. I will deal with it after the show. I will deal with it after the show. Right? The new product, if you're using it, you must have the diabetes things at home. The meter to measure diabetes. You understand? And by the time you start taking some sugar out of your system, your body will be using the fat, the excess fat in your body, and you'll be losing weight naturally. You understand? You will find out your legs are not hurting you that much anymore. You can do everything. Even in the little rooms, your performance will improve. Guys, I love you, my family. I love you so much. I'm going to try and speak to one of our father who works on the Windrush program. I'm going to try and speak to him and see whether I can bring him tomorrow. Mommy, mo ti gbàgbé o, Ọlọ́run ò ní gbàgbé yín o. Mo ti gbàgbé, mommy. Mo ti gbàgbé, ó yẹ kẹ́ bómi lẹ́gbàá ni mà. Okay, mo ti rí. Ẹ má worry. I will work on it tomorrow. I will ship it on Monday for you. So Monday afternoon, when you wake up, mommy, call me. All the people in America, Monday morning when you wake up in America, please call me. Guarantee that your product is going out that Monday. Yeah, and everything will work well for us by the grace of God. Please, 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 please. Somebody said take rest. It's good to rest though. That's why I take my nap during the day. But resting alone does not solve the problem. You must look after your head properly. You must look after your health properly. Because you're number one. And being number one means you need to live long. All the money, all the pension contribution you've put in, you must be able to claim your pension for so many years. And the pension will be, people will be getting angry to say, this man is still here. This man is still here. And if you are looking after your health, please top up your pension more so that you can get more money when you start getting your pension. On this note, I want to thank you all. I love you, and I will see you nice tomorrow, if possible. And I might be talking about the Windrush program tomorrow again. God bless you, and good night. ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ jùmọ̀ kọ orin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwa ni ògo adúláwọ̀.
Heritage ti dé. Aba Remedy ló sọ pé àìsàn ní ṣe wá. Ṣọ́múròrò àwọn ká pẹ̀lú ẹ̀dá o. Orí fífọ́ ò dáa. Máa ń pa wá ó ṣe kókó fámọ́ ọkùnrin. Diabetes ò dáa. Rúmọ́lẹ́gùn ò dára káyé má bá wa jà o.
Àbí o kàlàfíà wọn máa ti fíafíà o. Ilé iṣẹ́ Aba Remedy ṣe ń fọn rẹ̀ pé ká tọ́jú ara wa pẹ̀lú àwọn òògùn ìbílẹ̀ tiwantiwa. Egbògi ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pọ́nbélé tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fáwọn onírúurú àìsàn bíi ẹ̀jẹ̀ ríru, high blood pressure, ìtọ̀ ṣúgà, diabetes, ẹ̀fọ́rí túlù, migraine, àwọ̀ká, arthritis, nárùn, body inching, ṣàmúlòrò àtẹ̀dá tó dààmú àwọn obìnrin. Yorùbá natural Aba Remedy ló lè yanjú ẹ̀. Manpower ọkùnrin làdá tó ń fáwọn ọkùnrin lágbára láti ṣojú ṣe wọn lọ́dọ̀ àwọn aya wọn. Ọ̀sẹ̀ àánú náà wà Mercy Soap fún gbogbo ẹni tó fẹ́ràn àánú gbà. Aba Remedy láti lè ṣe HeritageTV London. Ẹ lè rí àláwọ̀ àdírẹ́sì tó ń kọjá lójú wòran yín yìí tàbí kẹ́ ẹ pè nọ́mbà yìí +44 777 8957 893. Lè ṣe HeritageTV London ló ń pariwo wípé àìsàn àtàrùn onífàgbọ́ ara wa ṣe bùgbé o.
Rúmọ́lẹ́gùn dára káyé má bá wa jà o. Heritage. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń bá wa dòwò pọ̀ ẹ ṣe àdúpẹ́. Heritage event tuntun ti dé. 360 photo booth 160 LED flare projector ohun èlò ìgbàlódé lóríṣiríṣi. Ilẹ̀ gbàgbẹ́ Heritage níjàre.
Ní Heritage event àti gẹ̀rẹ́gẹ̀jigẹ̀ àti tẹ̀síwájú iléeṣẹ́ wa ti kúrò bá ti lérò. Àwọn ohun amáyédẹrùn ìgbàlódé tó ń fini lọ́kàn balẹ̀ níbi ayẹyẹ wà lẹ́ rẹpẹtẹ. Rental service lọ́lọ́kọ̀ òjọ̀kan ìyàwòrán kótópó olóbìrípo 360 photo booths jíjí àràmàǹdà tìgbàlódé light emitting diode 160 LED screen tó ń tanná tàmálẹ̀ gàràgà. A ní flame projector ẹ̀rọ cold fireworks machine wà tó ń ṣáná wọlé ẹ̀rọ low fog machine ò gbẹ́yìn digital photography pẹ̀lú digital and special effect creations. À ń ṣe live streaming service tó máa ń ṣàfihàn ayẹyẹ yín bó ti ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ní gbogbo àgbáyé ó máa wò. A tún lè bá yín gbèrò tàbí mójútó àwọn ayẹyẹ tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe bí ìgbéyàwó ìṣílé ìkómọjáde ìsìnkú àgbà àjọ̀dún ẹgbẹ́ tàbí tìjọ. Kílẹ̀ ń dúró dè ẹ kàn sí wa ní Heritage event lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 0333 0116 367 àti 07 367 367 555. Email admic@eventspecialeffect.co.uk. Lórí ẹ̀rọ alátagbà www.eventspecialeffect.co.uk. Heritage event, giving your event that special effect.
Ilẹ̀ gbàgbẹ́ Heritage níjàre. Heritage TV for your next event. Rental services. We are the best at what we do.
Heritage Events. For your next event, what are your requests? Let's enhance you with various modern facilities that will make your event very successful. With Heritage Events, giving your event that special effect. We engage in rental service. We provide you with 160 light emitting diode, LED screen, 360 photo booth also available, film projector, code fireworks machine, and low fog machine, digital photography, also digital and special effect creation. We also give live streaming services. We can also manage and plan your event for you, such as wedding ceremony, housewarming, child dedication, burial ceremony, clubs and churches anniversary. So what are you waiting for? Contact us now on 0333 0116 367 or 07367 367 555. Email admin@eventspecialeffect.co.uk. Website www.eventspecialeffect.co.uk. Heritage Events, giving your event that special effect.
We are the best at what we do. Heritage, oh.
We Cargo Limited. From London to Nigeria. We Cargo Limited. We specialize in shipping and air freight from London to Nigeria. We provide you with high quality, affordable and reliable shipping platform globally. Quick Cargo Limited. We collect from your door within London with free pickup. Your containers, cash shipping, air freight services, shipment shipping, plant machinery and professional packing services. All this we do to satisfy you. London address, Unit 1215, Access Self Storage, Kingsbridge Road, Afresh Way, back in IG 11 OBD. Telephone +44 79 04 04 1142 +44 79 6021 2185 +44 78 4949 4970. Nigeria address #1 Molara Alibaba Close behind CPM Church, Ajao Estate, Lagos. Telephone 090 7083 3630. Website www.quickcargo.co.uk. Email info@quickcargo.co.uk. Quick Cargo Limited, affordable and reliable shipping from London to Nigeria.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream that was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020 800 46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.